I can't like.
I can give you an energy drink.
I think the crazy stuff like these dudes be out there and killing. These dudes make the big.
Thanks again,
They
Cooper and
go
Cole, and our
all
friends of the IBEW Local
they
26.
go throw all the balls in the world.
And now, with our second ceremonial first pitch, please welcome Dr. Stephen Velling. Dr. Velling will be throwing out the second first pitch. He is the owner and chief of staff at Pilsen Park. Dr. Velling loves sports, and there's a plug in here that says Go Nats, and he's excited to throw out the first pitch. Dr. Velling, it's your pitch.
Yeah.
17.
Oh, you're 16.
I'll tell you what, Fred.
That's what I think.
Throughout his youth wrestling career. Beyond competing on the mat, he gave back to the program by helping coach our younger wrestlers, volunteering as a referee in numerous events, and serving as a tremendous role model and supporter of the Rangers. Wrestling has truly been a family tradition, as his siblings have also proudly represented the Rangers Wrestling Club. Tonight, the Rangers coaches Joel Caruso and Sean Carley are joining Brody on the field to present him with this year's Ranger Wrestling Club shirt in recognition of everything he has meant to the program. The entire Rangers family couldn't be more proud to cheer him on as he continues his athletic journey and represents our community. Purcellville, please join us in recognizing one of our own, Brody Carley.
Foul ball. Right.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons Baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball. It's baseball time in the Loudoun Valley. The Purcellville Cannons have lost 7 of their last 10, and with 8 days to go in the 2026 season, Brett Fuller's group is trying to make a playoff push as they welcome in the Woodstock River Bandits. Howdy, baseball fans. Jeremy Huber here. Cannons desperate for a win against the team that has given them trouble all year long. We'll pause for our national anthem. Lincoln Burkholder will join me in just a moment. Cannons a big one on a Friday night here in Purcellville.
Sons and daughters of the American Revolution must prove they are lineal descendants of a man or woman who gave services in support of the American Revolution. These services could be by military donations of goods or money, or service in a civil capacity for the new federal or state governments. And now, performing tonight's national anthem, please sing along with DJ Press Play.
with pride our national anthem. Of course, as the tradition, the color guard will come off the field, and both teams will remain standing until they are off the field with the colors. But expecting a good night, a clear night for baseball. Cannons got their game in last night, a loss against Waynesboro, the best team in the league. As some games were not in last night, 2 games got postponed. But the Cannons hoping to get another one in, as they've had great luck so far this year with the weather in the Shenandoah Valley. So let's get this one going as I bring my partner Lincoln Burkholder. Before Lincoln, you give us the starting lineups. Cannons right now trying to find themselves. They're batting pretty well, but they're having trouble getting wins.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to really just finishing the job. We've had some issues with pitching, obviously, the last couple of games, last couple of times they've blown leads. So Cannons, River Bandits tonight. River Bandits 5.5 games out, so they're feeling the pressure of can we make the playoffs. Just a game, I believe, out of that 4th and final spot in the North Division playoffs. Cannons, on the other hand, in a free fall right now, for lack of a better word. Lost 7 of their last 10, 3 in a row, including one against Woodstock here on their home turf just the other night, 4-3. So looking for a big moment to pick themselves back up. They're 2.5 games out of first now as it stands, behind Winchester. So this is a big game for them tonight, and they've got their ace on the mound to take care of it.
Let's go ahead and get those starting lineups. Lincoln, what are we seeing on both sides?
For Woodstock, leading off the center fielder, Kamari Chisholm Jr., batting 2, the shortstop, Connor Worth, batting 3, the first baseman, Abdriel Delgado. In the cleanup spot, the left fielder, Giovanni Hernandez. Designated hitter, batting 5th, Logan Duffy. In the 6th spot, the second baseman, Bryant Green. Batting 7th, the third baseman, KJ Moon. In the 8th, the catcher, Jackson Harriger. And rounding out the Woodstock order, the right fielder, Camden Lockhart. On defense and in the lineup for the Cannons, playing third base tonight and leading off is Thomas Marsala. Behind him in the 2 spot, playing first, is Vincenzo Casat. Batting 3, the designated hitter, Josh Ebay. In the cleanup spot, shortstop, Eric Martinez. Batting 5, the center fielder, Seth Williams. Catching and batting 6th is A.J. Green. In the 7th spot, the right fielder, Merkel Turner. 8 is the left fielder, Logan Newcomb. And rounding out Purcellville's order, the second baseman, Andrew Bell.
And on the hill for the Cannons tonight will be Merrick Beamish, the 6'3", 185-pound sophomore righty from St. Augustine, Florida. Most recently at North Texas Central College, also Dyersburg State Community College. Merrick, a VBL All-Star, did not pitch in the game earlier this week for the Cannons this year. 6 appearances, 6 starts, 1-1 record, 23 1/3 innings pitched, 2.70 ERA. 1.46 whip and 32 strikeouts. Beamish has really been a solid force. Talking to Chris Glaze, the pitching coach, before the game today, said, look, he's been the guy we can count on to get out there and get his 4 to 5 to 6 innings in and really save the bullpen. Though Beamish coming off his worst outing of the Valley season so far. And previous outing, a 7-3 loss versus Strasburg. He allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, and 3 hits over 2 innings. Again, his shortest outing of the season, but he did take a no decision. So almost ready for baseball here in Purcellville. So glad to have you along. The venerable Jim Clayton behind the plate tonight. Chris Curley's done at first base, and Rick Swink is down at third.
Leading off the Woodstock, center fielder number 3, Kamari Chisholm.
Here comes Kamari Chisholm Jr. playing center field tonight. Again, this River Bandits team has beaten the Cannons 3 of the 4 times they have played. It's Purcellville's worst record against any Valley League North opponent this year. Here's the first pitch of the night. That's going to be popped up to the right side. Kusit coming in. And now some confusion, and it's going to be a catch as it rebounds off of Green, and Kusit grabs it. And a crazy play there, Lincoln, as it looked like Vincenzo came in. Green didn't see it. Beamish was trying to direct traffic. Somehow they catch it.
Yeah, I mean, for a team that's had some trouble in the field recently, that's not what you love to see on the first swing of the game. But play got made. Casat came in, found the ball regardless, but definitely need communication in foul territory there to avoid dropping that potentially next time.
So that'll be a first pitch swinging by Connor Worth. Out of play. So are we giving that a P23 or a P3?
I gave it a P3.
Okay.
I don't think the catcher actually touched it.
Okay, because he was going away from me. So I couldn't tell for sure, as that's going to miss inside. Count goes to 0-1. We don't have a monitor. Worth headed to North Greenville after a game a year at JMU, as that's in for a strike, makes it a 1-2 count. From Virginia Beach, Virginia, he's another Valley All-Star. Went 2 for 4 in the All-Star game earlier this week. 1-2 pitch, misses high. On the season coming in, Worth .292 average with a pair of homers and 26 RBI.
Had a pair of RBI here on July 2nd.
2-2. That will miss inside, kicks away from Green. So the count will go full at 3-2. 1 out with Andrel Delgado on deck. This Woodstock team, Cannons got the first win of the season when the two matched up. River Bandits have won the last 3 as that misses high and inside, and Beamish will walk his first batter of the night.
Yeah, good AB there from Worth. Just really waited on his pitch, didn't see anything he liked, so takes 4, takes the base. But for Beamish on the bump, it's important. Just got to get this guy here, focus up, clean up this inning. We mentioned, or you talked a little bit about pitching coach Chris Glaze and how reliable Beamish has been this season. For pitchers that have been here from day one for Purcellville, Beamish has been the guy, for lack of a better word. So seeing him settle in here will be a big help.
That'll miss outside to Delgado. Delgado, a bit of a rarity in modern college baseball, as he has spent his entire career so far at Jacksonville. Normally, as mid-major guys, as that will be a throw over to first base. If they're good enough, they're moving on from the level of Jacksonville. If they don't get as much chance as they would like, they likely move down a level. But Delgado has been a Dolphin for a while now. Here's the 1-0, and that will miss outside. Count goes 2-0.
I mean, I can't guess that Jacksonville's too bad of a place to live at.
If you're going to stay
4
somewhere,
years.
yeah. And I think there may be some injury in there. Big lead over at first base. Beamish holds, and that'll miss inside. Count goes 3-0. So A.J. Green trying to calm the righty down. Delgado redshirted as a freshman in 2023. Played a lot in 2024 and hit pretty well, almost 300. Injury-plagued 2025. 3-0 pitch, and that's going to miss inside. So back-to-back walks by Merrick Beamish. And we've seen earlier in the season, one game the Cannons with 13 walks against River Bandit batters. And hopefully we're not headed for that tonight. I mentioned that to Chris Glaze before the game, not to give Coach too much pub tonight, but he said, yeah, I bet you didn't want to call that one. I said, Coach, I don't think I was there for that. And he goes, well, I didn't like watching it, so I assume you wouldn't like calling it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the walks, they've been an issue for the Cannons this year. I mean, but also Woodstock in their own right has been great with plate discipline. They're 4th in the Valley in walks right now with 184, I believe. So 181, excuse me. So it is partially to their credit. They took numerous walks on July 2nd to get here against the Cannons.
That'll miss inside for ball 1. So right now, Beamish having trouble finding the plate. Again, you look up and down this roster, not a lot of big programs for this Woodstock team. So despite their record, River Bandits playing some team baseball. Beamish delivers the 1-0. That will catch the plate for a strike, and Giovanni Hernandez kind of rolls the neck saying, okay.
It's a big pitch there for Beamish. July 2nd, Cannons walked. 6 batters, hit 3. So not an ideal performance in the 13-6 loss. Would look for better tonight with a lot on the line.
1-1, that's hit out to center field, but Williams able to line it up, make the catch, and a throw in will get by Martinez, the relay man at short, but Marsala comes off and Beamish backing up, so a long, loud out number 2.
Yeah, it's a great swing from Hernandez. He got every bit of it, but right at the center fielder, if you're Beamish on the mound, just a hard out. 2 gone, need 1 more, get a clean first inning, something the Cannons particularly have struggled with in recent games.
Easier said than done, as the well-traveled Logan Duffy at the plate. Duffy this year hitting .310 for the River Bandits in his 21 games, as that will miss outside for a ball. Duffy, we talked about how Delgado has been at one place forever. Duffy last year at Louisiana Monroe, Pittsburgh the year before that, McLennan Junior College before that, Old Dominion his first year. Here's the 1-0. That's going to bounce and hit Duffy, so he'll head down to first base, so the bases will be loaded, but the good news for Beamish, still 2 outs.
Yeah, I mean, 2 walks, now the hit by pitch in this inning. Still hasn't allowed a hit, but
baseman number 27.
You've run out of free passes to hand out here in the first inning if you're Beamish. Bases loaded for Bryant Green, who was a good hitter against Purcellville the last time these 2 teams met up, or 2 times ago. They met up at Fireman's Field. So, got to look to roll one over here. He's been a big strikeout guy this year, could do that as well.
Yeah, Green from up the road in Thurmont, Maryland. Interesting campaign for him, as he will foul this one back. Green in the Valley this year, 21 games, 182 average. At Fairmont State this year, Division II program, but he was the Mountain East Conference Freshman of the Year, 2nd team All-MEC. So trying to find that form. Here's the 0-1. That is just off the corner, as Jim Clayton says, ball 1. In the old Mountain East Conference. I believe that was Ohio schools and some of the West Virginia schools back in the day. 1-1, that'll miss high. At one point, I think every Division II in West Virginia was in the same conference, and you've seen them move. Shepherd now in the PSAC. The famous football conference, Division II. We're going to get to our East Stroudsburg conversation again, or is that's a Tristan thing, I think. 2-1, that'll miss outside, and now Beamish 1 pitch away from walking in a run.
Yeah, that conversation was us. You're thinking
Okay.
Tristan because it was James Franklin that we were talking about,
All right,
Penn
all right.
State's coach. But, yeah, I think this would be the 3rd time we've done the East Stroudsburg conversation.
Over 2 years. 3-1 pitch. That's a swing and a miss. So strike 2, but the runners will be off on the pitch. So if Green gaps one, at least 2, maybe 3 could score, but Beamish trying to shut it down right here. Here's the 3-2. That is just off the outside corner for ball 4. That'll be a Woodstock run as Worth in from third base. And the River Bandits break on top 1-0 here in the top of the first, as Chris Glaze will head out to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, not a bad pitch from Beamish there in the full count.
Whoa.
Jim Clayton's liking behind the plate, so an unfortunate run, but
We're getting one more bat before you leave.
not an automatic ball by any means. So for him, just stay settled in on the mound. He's not too far out. Just attack his next batter, keep it rolling.
I'll tell you what, pretty demonstrative conversation here from Chris Glaze. Normally, when he's out there with the pitchers, trying to keep them calm, but he kind of was moving hands and seemed like he had a little fire in his back pocket as he hit the grass, and still having a word. So maybe he wanted a little more attack against a Woodstock lineup. Again, it's not a big-time schools. Beamish trying to get him to attack a little more. Well, here comes KJ Moon, the third baseman. Moon out of Augusta University. Here's the pitch, and Moon takes on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, I mean, if you're pitching coach Chris Glaze, it's kind of a boiling point here for the Cannons. You're down 2.5 games. There's 7 games left in the season. You need to play at home in that first round if you want the best chance of succeeding, and you need this game.
0-1. That'll miss outside.
And Beamish has been a very consistent pitcher in the zone this season. Just 20 walks and 23.1 innings coming into this one. He's got 3 walks and a hit by pitch in this first inning, so not his usual stuff. Glaze probably just looking to fire him up, get that energy out of him so he can perform, get out of this inning.
1-1. That'll miss high, and again, Beamish having trouble finding the plate. course, the Cannons done in by the walk, a walk-off walk against Winchester on Wednesday, cost them that game. Of course, a loss against Waynesboro last night, as that's on the outside corner for strike two. General's the best team in the league, so no shame in that one. Obviously no shame in the loss to Winchester, but had the lead early, let it slip away in a key game when it came to the Valley North race. 2-2, that is almost going to hit Moon, but he is out of the way of it. And again, we go to a 3-2 count.
Do see added energy from Beamish there. That was 92. He's been sitting about 90, 91 all game, so hardest pitch he's thrown all night.
Runners off of the payoff pitch. That's hit out to right field. Turner's got it lined up, makes the catch, head high for out number 3. So the bases loaded walk puts the River Bandits on the scoreboard, but it's only a single. Head to the bottom of the first. River Bandits 1, Cannons coming to the plate.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome back as Woodstock in the field. Cannons come to the plate for the first time. And your starting pitcher for this Woodstock team will be Casey Proctor. Proctor, a left-hander. Last of Central Connecticut State. 6'4", 200 pounds, lefty. 4 appearances for the River Bandits this year. 3 of those starts. No record, no saves so far. 14 2/3 innings pitched, 3.68 ERA, 10 Ks on the year. Maybe unlike Beamish, who struggled his last outing, Proctor had one of his best outings. Allowed a run and 3 hits over 4 innings while striking out 6 as the River Bandits beat Newmarket in his last outing. Proctor, I think the definition of a fresh arm, Lincoln, as for the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut this year, he tossed a third of an inning.
Yeah, and I mean, only 14.2 innings in the Valley so far as well, so not a very taxed arm by Valley League standards. Some of these guys upwards of 30 innings this year, but these are the guys that get important down the stretch in the Valley. It's 14.2 innings. His arm should be pretty loose, pretty fresh. He only started, I believe, his last 3 games, has not thrown 5 innings in a start yet this season, but the ERA, 3.68, very solid. You like to see that, and the batting average against just 232, so he's not giving up too many hits as well, so see what he looks like from the left side against this lefty-heavy lineup.
There's Thomas Marsala leading off tonight. He takes a ball high. Marsala going across the field to play third base. Shinaway still out of the lineup due to a back injury. Here's the 1-0, as that will be in for a strike. Shin's time coming to a close with the draft coming up. And hearing some rumors that who may head back to Japan to play in an industrial league over there, which apparently is a pretty good deal. Here's the 1-1, as that'll be hit the other way and in for a base hit. So Thomas Marsala still swinging that hot bat, as he has a leadoff single here for the Cannons in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it's textbook lefty-lefty from Thomas Marsala. Just drive through the zone, take it out the left side through the 5-6 hole, and find the green grass in left field. So Marsala, big leadoff base hit with his team down 1. You want to respond as quickly as possible. He'll give them a chance to do just that, with a little bit of speed on first base as well.
Here's Vincenzo Cusit, another VBL All-Star. 1 of 3 for the Cannons, as that's fouled back. It was he Beamish and Shininoue. And Chenzo, of course, plays his college ball in Frederick, so used to being over across state lines, as that'll miss up and in. Count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, DH'd a lot for the Cannons this year, but obviously with Shininoue on the shelf, moving into the field with Marsala going to third.
Marsala, short lead at first base, as it'll be fouled back, and Cosett now with a 1-2 count. On deck is Josh Ebay, the DH tonight. One, two. That's hit the other way. Could be trouble going back, and that is going to fall in. Extra bases for Cosett as Marsala not stopping. He's coming home. Throw to the plate, and he is going to be safe at the plate as Harriger could not handle it. And moving up is Vincenzo Cosett after the double. Takes third on the throw home, and the Cannons have tied it up on some aggressive base running by Thomas Marsala as he scores from first base on a ball down the left field line.
Yeah, I mean, I love the swing from Cosett, first of all, just driven down the left field line the other way. Finds the corner, one hops the wall. But what I love most about that is the aggression from Rich Fuller, the coach on third base. Sending Marsala the whole way. There was never a hesitation. You force that throw, and just like that, it bounces away, and you're tied at 1. So love the aggression. Gets Cosett to third as well. Still nobody out for a big bat.
Yep, Josh Ebay hitting from the right side. So, and we've seen him show off some opposite field power, so he is not against doing it, but that'll be in for a strike. Eric Martinez swings from the right side behind him in the order. So Cannons with a golden opportunity, 1-1 game, nobody out to take the lead, as Ebay will try to go the other way with it and foul it out of play.
Yeah, Ebay was huge in the Cannons' last win here against Harrisonburg on July 5th. He had 2 doubles and a base hit, 3 RBIs in that game. He blew it open, made it 5-2 with 2 outs and no strikes. First pitch you saw that at bat, so a little bit hot recently. Hopefully he can keep that up here.
Here's the 0-2. That'll be hit out to right field. Lockhart going back. He is at the wall, and he will not make the catch. It's off the wall. Ebay will trot into second base with an RBI double as Cosett in from third base, and the Cannons just that quickly have struck against the River Bandits. They lead it 2-1.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better start here. I mentioned the 2 doubles from Ebay here the other night. There's his first of the night tonight, so big RBI there. Looked like it might get out of here, but just barely stays in off the top of the wall. Good effort from the right fielder Lockhart, but I think only like Victor Wembanyama might catch that one out there. So big double for Ebay, 2 runs already, and more dangerous bats coming up with Martinez at the plate and Williams and Green coming up next.
Eric Martinez playing shortstop tonight. A little bit of an infield shuffle for the Cannons with no Shininoue. Here's the pitch as the breaking ball in for a strike. Martinez out of North Central Texas College. Swinging that Strasburg-colored bat with the blue. Proctor comes home. That'll miss. Count goes to 1-1. Martinez on the season hitting .277. Hitting has not been the Cannons' problem this year. Their team batting average, .271, tied for best in the league with league leader Waynesboro. As that is going to miss outside. And I mean record league leader as the Generals trying to go away and hide. This really looks like the top of the South, at least record-wise right now. Looking better than the North, but we've seen that before.
21-8 the Generals are.
2-1. That's hit the other way. That could be trouble. Lockhart going toward the line, and he is going to make the catch in the corner as eBay tags up and heads to third base. So a productive out for Eric Martinez, the first of the game for the Cannons.
Yeah, I mean, first out of the night for the Cannons, but not for lack of a good swing. That one just a couple feet from going out to right as well. Good run down from Lockhart and a good catch up in the corner, but productive out, as you mentioned, moves eBay over to third. Sack fly is still in play with just one out here if the Cannons want to put a third on the board.
As you mentioned, here's Seth Williams, excuse me. Get a little Family Guy reference in there, I think. As that's going to miss inside, almost hits Williams. You know what I did? This is inside baseball for the folks at home, but I believe I was looking at A.J. Green, who's next. Just happened to be a happy coincidence that I put Seth Green down. So Seth Williams waits the 1-0, and up the middle, that's a base hit. So the Cannons with some good at-bats here against Proctor as Williams goes back up the box and makes this a 3-1 ball game as eBay in from third.
Yeah, another good piece of hitting for the Cannons. Williams not too flashy with it, just drives it right up the middle. No play for the second baseman or the shortstop, and an easy run for the Cannons. Take a 2-run lead here, still just one out.
Here's the aforementioned A.J. Green, and we referenced that the leading the league in batting average right now. He's tied for the lead for the Cannons. Here's the pitch, misses outside, but when you look deeper at the team stats right now, and it is a crazy, crazy number, the Cannons in on-base percentage right now, as the runner goes, and that's fouled off, so to even up the count at 1-1. So batting average, the Cannons are tied for first. On-base percentage, they're 8th. Now, you look at Waynesboro. Waynesboro is second in on-base percentage. So, and I asked Brett Fuller about that number, and he said, yeah, I've never really seen anything like it. I've been doing this for a while. Here's the 1-1. As the breaking ball in for a strike, but he had two hypotheses. He said, look, we don't really walk enough. We also don't really bunt. So when you think about some of those at-bats that would be sacrifices that wouldn't count against the batting average, but they're not there because, you know. So anyway, it's an interesting spot they're in right now as the runner goes, and that is low. Jim Clayton says it's a ball, so count goes 2-2.
Yeah, Williams takes second as well. Good jump there. But yeah, I mean, I think the not walking hypothesis is going to be your correct one here. 146 on the year, that's dead last in the Valley as it stands. Just been a team that's been hitting the ball. I mean, we mentioned first in batting average, but not too big of a gap between the average and OBP, which you typically see with a team who's had as good of an offense as Purcellville has.
Long look back at second by Proctor. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled off. Nice swing there by Green to stay alive. Yeah, like you said, I mean, you're going to see teams walk. And the crazy number there is that Shinaway leads the league in walks. So you do have that one guy who is leading the way when it comes to base on balls. But the rest of the team maybe not following suit. Maybe tonight changes that as they've had some good team at-bats so far. 2-2 pitch. That's going to miss high and away. So count goes 3-2.
Actually, both hypotheses might be correct. Cannons, just 18 sacrifices total on the year. You mentioned the bunts. We've only got 4 sacrifice hits this year. Woodstock, for reference, 26 in those categories. So definitely a difference there as well.
Payoff pitch coming up. 1 out. Cannons up 3-1 here in the first. As that'll be hit down to third base, and that is just foul. So we'll do it again. On deck, Merkel Turner.
Yeah, it's been nice to see Green back in the lineup. Been a big piece these last couple games, and it'll be big for the Cannons moving forward if they want to find their way back towards the top of these standings. But obviously he got banged up a little bit about a month or so back, I believe, but good to see him back.
3-2 pitch. That's going to miss as Jim Clayton does not bring the arm up. So a close pitch that Proctor does not get, and the Cannons have 2 men on with 1 out and a 2-run lead here in the first as Merkel Turner coming to the dish.
Yeah, tough one to take for A.J. Green there, but just lets it go the whole way. He looked like he knew it was a ball, started taking his gear off and walking down to first. So tough take, but a good one, and it's another base runner for the Cannons. Still just 1 out.
So Turner steps in. We'll look back at second again. Here's the pitch. Turner, big swing and a miss for strike one. Turner on the year in his 13 games, hitting .200. A double and a triple. No homers or Merkel. 0-1. He'll take outside for ball one. Turner from Atlanta, Georgia. Played this past year for Long Beach State, as he will pop this one up to the right side. Giving chase is Delgado up against the fence, and it is just over the fence. Hopefully it didn't take out a spectator. That's kind of that row of older folks and some of the folks in wheelchairs down that way. It's easy, nice, accessible seating for them to get a really good look. That one dropped in, so I don't think anybody got hurt. That's a good thing.
You don't see too much panic movement over there, so looking good. Maybe somebody made the play.
1-2 coming up from Proctor. Here it is. And Turner fouls it off the mask of Harriger, so we'll do it again.
Tell you if this was Bungaloo ball or
Boogaloo.
Boogaloo, what we called it when we did banana ball here at Fireman's Field. It's an out. So
if you catch it, right?
If you catch it, yeah. Got to come down with it, though.
Yeah. 1 knee or 2 feet, either one. Throw some football in there as well. Williams leading off second base. 1-2 pitch. That's hit and going to be past the shortstop Worth. Williams coming around. He's going to score easily. No throw comes in from Hernandez. And the Cannons bats have come alive tonight. A 4 spot on the board. Still 1 out. As Purcellville leads the River Bandits. Turner with the RBI single.
Yeah, rocket through the left side from Turner. Another great swing from the Cannons. Lots of hard contact. We'll see if this is it for Proctor on the mound or if they'll let him keep working. Try and get out of this, but Cannons bats have been all over him tonight. That's the 5th hit of the inning. It's 2 doubles, 3 base hits, and a walk. So 4 already in. If you're Woodstock, probably don't want to see this get too out of control, but it's also the first inning with 1 out, so you don't want to turn away from your starter this early as well, especially with some thin bullpens here down the stretch in the Valley League. But Cannons just going to want to keep jumping on him as long as they can, so give yourself as big of a cushion as possible as we head into the rest of this game.
Yeah, right now, some issues with Woodstock, especially in pitching depth. So that's one spot where the Cannons actually are doing pretty well.
The left fielder,
Chris Glaze, when I talked to him before the game, he said, look, you know, our guys are starting to come around when it comes to not walking batters, but we've got guys, we've just got to get them innings, and that's kind of part of the equation here, the yin and the yang, as Newcomb will take for a ball. He said, look, guys got to throw strikes. That's a given. But we kind of have to give them every 3 days on the mound, or they're going to lose that touch that it takes to throw strikes consistently. So that's still kind of a work in progress. He said, look, we're going to need these guys in the playoffs. 1-0 as Newcomb takes inside. Logan out of high school, currently headed to Coastal Carolina, but some talk that he could be drafted this weekend. I've heard rumors that one of the local clubs is interested in him. Here's your 2-0. Newcomb will swing and bunt down the line and foul. So count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of potential at the plate in Newcomb, South Carolina State Player of the Year out of high school this year. That's mid-90s off the mound and high 105 to 110 off the bat. So great two-way option. And Coastal would love to see him, but obviously that's talent that can make the majors if a team wants to develop.
2-1, misses inside. So count goes 3-1. I think the last game we did together, we closed it out with a 2-inning save. And that victory over Strasburg. Andrew Bell's on deck. Proctor's 3-1. Big swing and a miss as Newcomb going for the downs on that one. Takes the count to 3-2.
Yeah, just a little early on that breaking ball. He wanted it, but got to protect now. 3-2. Big spot. Still 2 runners on.
Payoff pitch. And Newcomb swings through the breaking ball. Nice pitch by Proctor to get the second out of the inning.
Yeah, big second out for Proctor. That breaker just a little bit lower than the last one. Newcomb sitting on the same pitch, was on time, but over top of it. So 2 away. Cannons have batted through the order now. It's the 9-hole hitter, Andrew Bell, coming up. So you'd love to send the top of the order back to the plate in the first inning if possible. Andrew Bell certainly capable of doing that. Plenty of base hits in this 9-hole spot for the Cannons this season.
And a huge at-bat in this game. Can he turn the lineup over to Marsala as Bell will take for a strike? Bell on the year hitting .234 coming in 23 games. 4 doubles. Account for all of his extra base hits. 0-1. That's hit out to center field, but playable. As Chisholm in left center field makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But 4 on the board for the Cannons. They lead the River Bandits 4-1 as we head to the top of the 2nd inning.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome you back into Purcellville. 4-1 lead for the hometown Cannons here after 1 inning. Beamish coming back out on the mound looking to recover after 3 walks and a hit by pitch back in the first. He held Woodstock to just 1 run despite leaving the bases loaded. So still an opportunity to keep this 4-1 lead intact and give your offense a chance to blow this thing wide open as we get deeper into this game.
Got our Frisbee dogs out there. It's Bark in the Park night tonight. Did you get to pet any dogs on the way in?
I did not.
Yeah, me neither.
None were hanging out by the front entrance. I didn't see any hanging out by the front entrance.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I pet Seeker when I got up to the press
Well, there
box.
you go. That counts. That counts.
Squeaker out there tracking just like an outfielder. Don't forget the stuff.
Bark in the press box tonight.
Yeah.
Adoptable animals, the dog bakery, the other.
No, we've been doing that for a few years now, so
Our pets at Bark in the Park night.
it's a fun way to get our 4-legged friends
Leading off the top of the 2nd inning,
into the
catcher number
Cannons fever.
Jackson Herriger.
So Jackson Herriger, Camden Lockhart, then top of the order, Kamari Chisholm Jr. 8-9-1 for the River Bandits here in the top of the 2nd inning. Beamish delivers from the stretch, and he will miss inside his 2nd hit by pitch of the night as Herriger takes that one off the backside. And I'll tell you what, I think we've talked about this before. There's degrees of hit by pitches. You want to take it off the meat as much as possible, and I guess there's no better place than to take it in the backside.
I mean, that looked like it might have got down towards like his tailbone area, in which case would
that could be a
quite
problem. Yes,
painful, but he seems all right over there. Pretty big lead already.
As that will miss inside to Camden Lockhart. So what you don't want to do if you're Merrick Beamish, you're staked to this 4-1 lead, give it right back. Hit by pitch, not what you want to see. Close play at first, and he is out as Kuset puts the tag on. Herriger, he's looking up, saying, I'm back in on that, but he does not get an agreement there as Chris Curley rings him up for out number 1 on the pickoff.
Yeah, Beamish had one or two close ones on the pickoff move back in the first, but that one just lights out. I mean, great throw right to the bottom, straight to the bag, and an automatic tag for cute Cassatt over there. So big out, gets him off base.
That'll miss outside. Count goes to 2-0 to Camden Lockhart. And that'll miss high. So Beamish, after the hit by pitch and then erasing it via the pickoff to Harriger, Camden Lockhart getting his first playing time for the River Bandits this year. Looking for the walk as he will take in for a strike. Lockhart, if our numbers are right, played for Mills Godwin High School in Richmond earlier this year, headed to Division II Coker College in South Carolina. 3-1, as that is going to miss, and that's a tough one right there. And Brett Fuller's coming out, and that might be it for Beamish. I think he's telling his infield, stay back. This is just me and the pitcher, but that's a tough one because, not to disparage Lockhart, but Logan Newcomb, obviously he's headed to Coastal Carolina. That's a really top flight player. I mean, you can make the argument that Sunbelt programs are top 4 conference in America. So you got to pitch him like a guy. Well, you got a dude that's going to a D2 school that this is his first real college exposure. You might want to find the plate a little bit better than Beamish did on that at bat. And right now it's a long, long chat between he and Brett Fuller.
Yeah, I mean, Beamish's strategy typically is a lot of breaking balls when he can land them on the outside edge. That relies on the fastball being in the zone when he needs it to be, and that just hasn't been the case tonight. He struggled with location. It's been a little up. It's been a little in. We've seen him hit 2 guys, obviously, so that's going to be the important part. If he wants to extend this outing any further and keep going in this game, you got to locate that fastball. You're going to be just about lost without a fastball to rely on.
Here's Chisholm, first time up. That pop out to first base, as that is off the outside corner for a ball. Beamish unable to find the plate consistently tonight, as that'll be popped up again. Green headed back, and he is going to make the catch for the first out of the inning, as the catcher out of Memphis hangs with it and makes the grab, route number 2.
Shortstop, number 7.
Yeah, big out there. Come back after the mound meeting with your manager. Always not going to be that fun as a pitcher on the mound talking to your manager in the second inning, but big out there with the pop out behind the plate. Just one away from getting out of this inning.
So here's the pitch to Worth, who fouls it back for strike 1. Worth walked in the first, would come around to score on the bases loaded walk to Green. 0-1. That's in for strike 2.
That's the breaking ball I talked about during that mound meeting, and when he can land it on that outside, that low bottom corner, it's borderline unhittable. You can't square that up, but that'll be a big spot to watch going the rest of this game.
Runner goes on the 0-2. That's going to be hit to shortstop. Martinez can't pick it. That's going to be an error, and the inning will continue. Had a bit of a way to go. And remember, Martinez more of a corner infielder than a true shortstop, and could not pick it up. We did get some rain earlier today, so maybe expecting a little more of a hop, but he got nothing, and inning continues for Woodstock.
Yeah, I mean, tough break for Martinez there. You mentioned dirt might be a little bit slower than it otherwise would be with the rain that came through earlier today, but also not sure if Worth is out at first, even if he does pick that cleanly.
Here's Delgado. He'll hit it out to left field, but Newcomb's there, and he makes the catch with a little hop for the third out of the inning. So Beamish strands 2. We head to the bottom of the second. Cannons 4, River Bandits 1. The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball. 4-1 Cannons lead as Cody Proctor remains on the hill for the River Bandits after giving up 4 runs and 5 hits in the first. Lincoln ran down the Valley standings right now as Winchester 17-11 on the year, 2.5 game lead on the Cannons at 15-14. Strasburg and Newmarket tied for third place, 3.5 back coming into the night. Then Woodstock is 5.5 back. Front Royal 6 back, so nothing's over yet. And like you said, it'd be huge for the Cannons to go ahead and just get a win tonight, kind of get their feet back under them and hopefully close in on a playoff spot soon.
Yeah, especially with, say, a Strasburg win tonight, or a Newmarket win tonight for that matter, would push them into a tie with Purcellville for second in the division if Purcellville were to forfeit this lead and lose the game. But big spot here. This is a big second inning. It's not often you see huge second innings, but Proctor 37 pitches in the first. If you're going to continue to pitch 4 or so innings in this game, this one has to be good. And for the Cannons, if you're going to really blow this thing open, this is your opportunity against a guy you got 5 hits off of just last inning.
Marsala, top of the order as the Cannons brought 9 to the plate, will take a ball outside. And Marsala again takes outside for ball 2. Thomas first time up, a single the other way. Proctor comes home, and Marsala will pop this out of play. Talked about being well-traveled. Thomas a bit well-traveled, but kind of a case of have bat will travel. Northwestern State, second team all-conference for the Demons this year, previously at Western Kentucky, Hines Community College, Baton Rouge Community College. Everything's been down that way. 2-1 pitch, almost hits him. And Marsala, a guy that has that good bat, just trying to develop a position to get a good look from a team. Got to be able to play a good spot somewhere and trying to find his. 3-1. That'll miss high, so Marsala with the walk to lead off the second inning.
Yeah, I mean, that really wasn't an issue for Proctor in the first. I mean, there were some problems with obviously the base hits and the 2 doubles, but walks were not really too big of a problem. He only walked 1 batter. It was A.J. Green. That was a full count and a close pitch. So not what you would love to see if you're the Woodstock dugout or your Proctor out on the mound. A 5-pitch walk to Marsala to get things started. Cassatt doubled his last time up.
Here's the pitch, and Vincenzo takes it inside for a ball. Got a text from a friend, Daniel Roby, one of my old high school buddies, was telling me, hey, got a kid on the team named Cassatt, really good kid, really good family. I said, we grew up with him where he know his family. I said, yep, know him well, as that's in for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. So been a really good kid this year, been a really good player for this team, huge at the plate. Valley All-Star, and of course, a local product. Cannons love having those Loudoun kids on the squad, as that will miss up, and count goes to 2-1. I got 2 in the booth right now, too.
Yeah, he's been big for the team this year. He's 5'11", 205, a freshman, young guy, batting .347. He's got 16 RBIs, so very productive at the plate all year long.
And he's going to be productive right there, as that one is out of here. Vincenzo Cusat is halfway to the cycle. A double in the first and a 2-run homer here to put the Cannons up 6-1 here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, talk about right on cue from Vincenzo Cusat. We talk about just how good he's been all year long, how consistent, the 347 average. He had 2 home runs make that 3. That one, no doubt to right, just blasted. Waited on his pitch and just drove it with everything he had. So big 2 runs there. Cannons, I mentioned, looking to maybe blow this game open here against a guy that they hit hard in the first, and that's a heck of a start. Now up 6-1.
Here's Josh Ebay. Ebay also doubled back in the first, as he will pop this one up. Coming over is Lockhart from right field, makes the catch in the gap for the first out of the inning.
Hey kids, at the end of this inning, be ready for the Valley Energy.
Hey, good effort to settle in there from Proctor, give up the walk, and then the long home run to Cusat, come back, get an out against eBay, who doubled his last time up. That's a good recovery and pleasant to see if you're in the Woodstock dugout thinking about your bullpen options for the rest of this game. There is somebody warming, a right-hander, in their bullpen right now, so we'll see how long the leash is for Proctor here in the second.
Martinez flew out to right his first time up, and he will take for a strike. Oh, 1. That's fouled away to the right side. Are you swatting a bug, or are you saying how you would swing it?
Swatting a bug.
Okay.
You do not want to see how I would swing it against 90 miles an hour. Wouldn't be too pretty of a sight. They'd probably have to turn off the stream.
Here's the 0-2. That's fouled back. Of course, Lincoln's brother, heck of a baseball player. You were down there visiting him. It's part of the reason you weren't on all the broadcasts this year. That's a good reason.
Yeah, I got to call one of his home runs. I'm actually holding it right now.
That's awesome.
He brought this ball last game that I showed up to. We won 8-2.
Nice.
So it's back for another home game tonight.
The good luck charm. 0-2 pitch. That's a swing and a miss by Martinez for out number 2 here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, maybe this ball ain't doing too much anyway.
What?
Strikeout.
He's had a 2-run homer.
Right after. I mean, yeah, true. We are up 6-1 at the moment, so. Great start for the Cannons, and still a chance to keep it going. Just 2 outs. Seth Williams is up. He was likely very close to an all-star this season. Another great player all year long for Purcellville.
Got off to that really good start. Cooled off a bit. That's going to be a cue shot. Could be trouble with his speed. Green coming on barehanded, and he makes the play. What a play by Green. And that cue shot off that somewhat wet grass from the storm earlier, just kind of going back and forth. He had to barehand it, got it over to Delgado in time to get the Speedy Williams for the third out of the inning. Cannons lead it 6-1 as we head to the top of the third here in Purcellville. The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball. 6-1 Cannons lead as we head to the top of the third inning with your next 2 innings of play-by-play. Here's my partner, Lincoln Burkholder.
Thank you, Jeremy. You mentioned 6-1 lead for Purcellville, Ben. Great start to this one on both offense and defense. Obviously, some trouble with the walks in the first inning from Merrick Beamish, but he settled in nicely. Last inning, hit and walked the first 2 batters, but got out of it with relative ease, including a pickoff of Jackson Harriger, the guy who he hit to lead off the frame. So he's back out here looking for a clean third inning, trying to keep this 6-1 lead intact, give his offense a chance to extend this even further when they go to the plate in the home half of this third inning. Due up for the Woodstock River Bandits, Giovanni Hernandez, Logan Duffy, and Bryant Green in that order. 4, 5, 6 in the Woodstock order. Still looking for Woodstock's first hit tonight, actually.
Yeah. It's good we got that out of the way early.
Yeah, they've played it a run.
I told you I almost called a no-hitter this year, right?
You did not.
Okay. Well, get in your inning.
Beamish comes to the mound once again. Hernandez set in the batter's box. First pitch on the way and misses inside. It'll be ball 1 to Hernandez.
Now, it shows how crazy it is because I'm pretty sure it was a no-hitter, not a perfect game. Georgetown game, kid took it into 8 1/3, no-hitter. It's pretty crazy.
Just 2 outs away. Here's the pitch, 1-0 in there. Breaker finds the zone for strike 1, and we're even at 1.
And the crazy thing was, Lincoln, was he lost it on an infield single where he forgot to cover first base. Hit it to the first baseman.
1-1 on the way. Breaker on that outside edge. Jim Clayton likes it, and it's strike 2.
And then the very next pitch, they were only up 1-0. That was the other problem. Very next pitch, guy hits a pinch hitter, hits a one-hopper off the wall for the double, ties it up. They go to 11, I think, and they end up maybe 12, and they lose.
1-2, line down the third base line. That's going to be a fair ball. That'll roll all the way to the corner as Giovanni Hernandez digs around first and is into second, standing with a leadoff double here for Woodstock in the third.
So I guess that takes that out of the way, and at least it was emphatic. As Hernandez, again, one of the Valley All-Stars, and he was able to rope that one down the line.
Yeah, he had a pair of doubles here on July 2nd and a base hit, 3 RBIs in that game. He's been a dangerous hitter all year long. It's nothing new for Hernandez, and big swing in the first at-bat of this third inning to get his team going as they look to mount this comeback. That'll bring in Logan Duffy, designated hitter, got hit his first time up. That one lined foul behind the plate, and it's 0-1.
I'll go back and correct myself. Delgado was their all-star, not Hernandez. But Hernandez shows off the swings that he can have right there.
That one just perfectly placed down that left field line. 0-1 count to Duffy. Beamish fires. Breaker way upstairs. It's going to get to the backstop. Through the legs of the catcher Green on the way back. And on to third goes Hernandez with no throw.
Let's see if he goes to the rosin bag. He does not. So normally you uncork one like that, you're going to that rosin bag trying to get some of that sweat off your hand, get a little more grip, but goes right back to the hill.
Maybe just a slightly early release. Count even 1-1. Here's the pitch. That one swung on and missed. High heat for strike 2. It's Bryant Green on deck. Pair of lefties here for Woodstock. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off right back to us in the booth, and we'll stay at 1-2.
Be interesting to ask Duffy what it's been like that college career. So many different spots.
Another 1-2 pitch. Beamish fought off again by Duffy. We stay here 1-2.
You know, but it almost has kind of turned a bit into the minors where, you know, guys are moving different classifications, players are coming and going, so maybe it's not as foreign as we think it is, at least in baseball.
Yeah. Here's another one, too. That one laced out into center field. It'll be down for a base hit. Duffy, good piece of hitting, and he drives in a run as Hernandez comes home from third. On the RBI single from Duffy, it's 6-3 now, or 6-2 now. Cannons in the third.
Number 27.
And right now, Woodstock taking advantage of a not-so-sharp Merrick Beamish. Could have been a lot more runs on the board if not for him getting out of that jam in the first with only one on the board.
Yeah, we'll see what the leash looks like here. That one lined out into left. Another base hit for Woodstock as Bryant Green takes the first pitch he sees and drops it short of Newcomb and left. 3 hits to open the inning for Woodstock, and it's first and second with nobody out still.
Chris Glaze headed down to the bullpen, the Cannons pitching coach. So again, after a short outing, his shortest of the year last time out, it might be even shorter for Beamish today. And boy, is this an issue for the Cannons. Guy that was kind of looking like their ace, starting to crumble a bit later in the season.
Yeah, this has not been the ideal start for Merrick Beamish. KJ Moon up now. That one's actually going to hit the knob of the bat for a foul ball. It's 0-1.
You can see by that sheepish smile by Moon where he says, "Daggone it."
Yeah, that was clean, too. You could hear it.
Easy call for Jim Clayton.
No argument for Moon. He's back in the box. 0-1. As Beamish comes set. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, fouled off the normal way this time for strike 2.
And you know, the way bats are done and the way guys tape bats now, where for a long time, you had that knob, your hand was nice and flat to it. It was tough to tell, but from the way he's holding that bat, from the way the tape is, it looks like there's a good maybe, half inch in between from where he's holding, so it probably makes it a lot easier call at that point.
Yeah, a lot less likely to hit them both. Big 0-2 pitch from Beamish on the way, and it's upstairs. Gets past him. Green will corral it behind the plate, but both runners are going to advance. Second and third, nobody out. 1-2 to KJ Moon.
It's a tough one there where you have a chance to get that strikeout, set up a double play ball maybe to get yourself out of the inning.
That one low. Moon checks at it. They'll check to the first base umpire. Chris Curley says no. Be 2-2. Yeah, double play out of the question now. 2-2 to Moon. In there, strike 3 called on the inside edge from Beamish. And his first strikeout of the game comes at a big time, looking to KJ Moon, and there's one away here in the third.
Big for Beamish right now, bottom of the order here to try his best to kind of blow through it. Got Harriger, hit him with a pitch last time. Got the high schooler Lockhart after him.
That one a little further inside, and it's ball 1 to Harriger. Yeah, Harriger, you mentioned, hit his last time up, was picked off on the first attempt last inning from Beamish. 1-0, nearly hits him again, and it's 2-0.
And this is where games can change. You get through this inning here and get to either he or someone else pitch to the top of the order with nobody on in the next frame.
2-0, swing and a miss at the breaker, and it's 2-1. But yeah, on contrast, one swing from Harriger here, and if it's into the outfield, that's likely 2 runs. This game, just a 2-run game if he can put it into the outfield. 2-1 pitch. Breaker checked at, looked like he went. They'll say he did. And it is strike 2, count even at 2.
But that's the thing here. If you're Beamish, you got to attack. The walks right at the bottom of the order. You can't let those happen if you want to stay out there. Get yourself out of the inning.
2-2 pitch, 1 out in the inning. Here it is. Breaker swung at and missed, strike 3. And a massive second strikeout from Merrick Beamish on the mound. 2 gone now on back-to-back Ks with 2 people in scoring position.
30, Camden Lockhart.
We'll bring in the aforementioned high schooler Camden Lockhart. Walked his first time up. That's the last thing you want to do here if you're Beamish. Send it to the top of the order. That one lined up the middle, and it'll go to the top of the order regardless. One run in, second run rounding third. He will stop. So an RBI base hit from Camden Lockhart, and he delivers to make it 6-3 here in the top of the third.
And Lockhart, first pitch hunting. And I tell you what, there's an old game from ages ago where Tony Kubek said one thing, the thing he said wouldn't happen. What did I say? Camden Lockhart's making me eat my words right there. I wonder if he can give me some ketchup and mustard with it. A hard single up the middle to score a run.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there from the young guy. Kamari Chisholm now coming up, and he will see a different pitcher as Merrick Beamish exits the game with 2 outs in the second. We'll tell you all about the new arm when we come back.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons Baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball.
Welcome you back into Fireman's Field here in Purcellville, Virginia for the bottom of the third here between the Cannons and the River Bandits. 6-3 the score in favor of the home team. New pitcher on the mound for the Cannons with 2 outs here in the top half of the third inning. It's Johnny Montgomery, the 6'3", 195-pound righty from Niagara University. Throws sort of the sidearm to submarine slot. He's been reliable out of the bullpen this year for Purcellville. 8 innings, 4.5 ERA as it stands. Just a 1.5 whip, 7 strikeouts in those 8 innings. And he's walked 7 batters as well. 5 hits against him. Opponents hitting 185 against him. So if he can control the walks and force hitters to make hard contact and punish him that way, a chance for a big long relief outing from Montgomery. If he can settle in nicely here. He has thrown more than an inning on a couple occasions this season. His most recent appearance came back on July 8th, a 1-inning performance. He threw 3 on July 6th. The game prior to that, the last time these two teams faced off here at Fireman's Field. Those 3 shutout innings, just 1 hit against him, 4 strikeouts in that outing.
Montgomery at Niagara earlier this year, 11 games, 18 2/3 innings pitched, recorded a 9.64 ERA with 6 strikeouts. Before his time at Niagara, he was at Allegheny College of Maryland. So part of that JUCO scene up there. The last 2 years has been a Purple Eagle.
They'll look to get out of this inning here. Top of the order coming up for Woodstock. Runners on the corners with 2 gone. It's Kamari Chisholm. He's 0 for 2 today. Pop up in foul territory to the right side, caught by the first baseman, Cassat. And then a pop up behind the plate, caught by the catcher, Green. So looking for his first hit of the night, and it'd be a big one as it would drive in another run. 2 gone as Montgomery set for his first pitch. Here it is. Showing bunt. Chisholm pulls back. They will throw down. Green's got him in a pickle. 2 gone. We'll see what the play is. They'll tag him out. And a great play from A.J. Green to get it down to second base. The inning's over. And we'll see if the run came in to score or not. It did not. So a successful out for the Cannons, and it remains 6-3 as we head to the bottom half of the third.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons Baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite,
Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball.
Welcome back into Purcellville. 6-3 ball game in favor of the home team as the bottom of the third gets underway here. New pitcher on the mound for Woodstock, taking over for Casey Proctor here in the third is Neil Kroom III. He's thrown plenty of innings for Woodstock this year, 18.1, a 6.87 ERA, 18 strikeouts in those 18.1 innings, and a 2.4 whip as it stands. 1-1 as far as decisions go, no saves on the year in 13 appearances.
Kroom, well-traveled, time at Bishop State Community College down in Alabama. His last spots, John Melvin Christian as well. So Kroom, the right-hander with the dreadlocks, looking to show what he can do from the right side. And I guess the interesting thing is, you know, we had the left-hander against a lefty-heavy lineup, but now you see the right-hander come in after a couple of innings, so almost an opener effect for Woodstock. We'll see if it changes anything.
The drawing will be at the end of the inning.
Cannons due up A.J. Green, Merkel Turner, and Logan Newcomb. That's 6, 7, 8 in the order. They've scored in both of the first two innings. They've come to the plate so far. 4 in the first, 2 last inning in the second. They'd love to keep that run going here after allowing 2 in the top half of this third inning. It's looking like could be a high-scoring contest between these two offenses as they've found ways to get on base. Not completely the same strategy. Lots of hits for the Cannons, 6 on the game, 4 just in the last inning for Woodstock. Prior to that, no hits in the game. So we'll see what Kroom has to offer here for the River Bandits. Trying to keep them within 3 runs here as A.J. Green steps to the ditch. He walked his first time up.
Number 2, A.J. Green.
Still doing this.
Kroom comes set on the hill. First pitch of his night on the way. And it is low. Unable to snare it behind the plate is Harriger. It's 1-0 to A.J. Green. Green on the year, 346 average. Mentioned missed some time due to injury, but back in the lineup here in the late stage of the season. 5 RBIs and 5 runs on the year. Still looking for his first homer. 1-0 pitch from Kroom. That one laced up the middle on the ground, going to be picked up by Worth, thrown on to first, and a nice defensive play from Connor Worth for out number 1. We'll bring in Merkel Turner. He had a base hit his first time up, drove in a run. That one from Green. Looked like it might get up the middle, but good chase down from Worth and a good throw across his body to pick up the first out. Here's the first pitch to Turner, batting from the right side. Breaker upstairs, and it's 1-0. Turner out of Long Beach State University. 200 average on the year, 3 RBIs, 7 runs, and 3 steals in 13 games. Here's the 1-0, laced out into left field. Back on it is Hernandez. He will make the catch for out number 2 as a quick first 2 outs for Neil Kroom III. And he's doing his job here, keeping Woodstock within 3 so far. So that'll bring in Logan Newcomb. Struck out swinging his first time up. We mentioned the pedigree coming out of high school for him. That one outside, he lets it go for ball one. One-0 pitch from Kroom. Newcomb ready at the dish. Here it is, and it's low and in the dirt for ball two. So a 2-0 start to Newcomb in the 8-hole. 2 gone in the inning. Two-0 count now. No swings yet from Logan Newcomb. See where Kroom goes, looking for that first strike. That one laced out into right center. Newcomb was all over it, and it's going to one-hop the wall. He's digging around first, heading for second. There won't be a play there as he's in with a nice slide to second base. A 2-out double for Logan Newcomb in the 8-hole. And a runner in scoring position with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Second baseman number 13, Andrew Bell.
They'll give Andrew Bell a chance. Flew out to center his first time up. Potential RBI spot here for the Cannons second baseman. And there'll be a meeting between Kroom on the mound and his catcher, Jackson Harriger. Quick one. Harriger will head back behind the plate. Kroom looking to avoid any further damage as a result of that 2-out double. Just 1 out to get out of this frame. Here's the first pitch to Andrew Bell. That one on the bottom side of the zone, and strike 1 to Bell. Oh, 1, that one low and away, and it's 1-1 now to Andrew Bell at the plate. It's Logan Newcomb on second. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Cannons lead this one 6-3. To potentially plate another run. Here's the 1-1. Bell driven out into left. Back on it is Hernandez, and he will watch it fly. Andrew Bell goes yard for the Cannons. He watched it himself. And it is 8-3 Purcellville on a massive 2-run home run from the second baseman, Andrew Bell.
We've talked about it before, Lincoln. If you're going to hit a home run to left field, you almost have to hit it right down the line. Didn't do it right down the line, but he got it where it starts to jut out, and he got all of it. Andrew Bell, a big smile on his face as he's put 2 on the board for the Cannons.
Yeah, I mean, that one, as no doubter gets. Andrew Bell watched it the whole way. But that is his first home run of the season in his 24th game here for Purcellville. So, and a big one at that. 2 RBIs for him with that swing, and he puts his team back on top by 5 after they had allowed a dent into the 6-1 lead in the top half of this inning. And also all made possible by the 2-out double from Logan Newcomb as well. So that brings in the top of the order in Thomas Marsala. That one outside, and it's 1-0. Marsala reached and scored both times so far tonight. He's got a base hit and a walk in the leadoff spot tonight. It's been a traditional 3 or 4 hitter for the Cannons this season. That one driven out into right. It might be back-to-back, and it is! Thomas Marsala on a laser beam over the wall in right. And that's 2 in a row for the Purcellville Cannons. They lead at 9-3 on a big fly from Thomas Marsala.
Thomas Marsala leading the way for the Cannons. We saw him heat up. I called his first homer of the year. He's gone on a binge as of late. And back-to-back, and the Cannons And their fans are feeling good tonight as we're seeing the fireworks display about a week late.
Yeah, plenty of fireworks to go around here in the bottom of the third inning. A rocket of a double from Logan Newcomb, followed by a pair of blistered home runs from 9 and 1 in the order, Andrew Bell and Thomas Marsala. Here's a guy who hit one last inning, Vincenzo Casat. First pitch to him, and it's in there for strike one called at the knees.
And right now, this Woodstock taxed pitching staff starting to feel it from this Cannons lineup.
0-1 to Casat. That one fouled back towards the booth, and it's 0-2 as Kroom looks to get out of this inning after a quick first 2 outs has turned into a quick 2 home runs from the men in white. Casat doubling a homer today, down 0-2 here. Pitch from Kroom on the way, and that one up high. 1-2 now.
Tough to hit a triple here. He's already got the double and the homer.
I guess the only real way would be that long fence out in left center field. And a lot of airtime. 1-2, that one grounded foul. We'll stay at 1-2.
Maybe one that kicks around a bit in the right field corner, but it's so short out there. It's tough. So again, we'll wait to see if he gets the single. Then we'll worry more about the triple.
Yeah, gotta get part 3 first.
And you know, one off the wall could happen too. Honestly.
Yeah, with enough airtime, if you're rounding with 2 outs,
especially if it kicks off one of those support beams out there.
Very true. 1-2 count still to Casat. Here's another one. That one outside, and we're even at 2 now. Casat, Frederick Community College, playing first today, with Marsala moving over to third. 2-2 count, 2 gone, nobody on, and that one way upstairs. And from 0-2 to 3-2 goes Casat. It's full now.
Definitely a different look from Kroom than Proctor before him. Cannons have adjusted well.
We've seen lots of breaking stuff. They've punished the fastballs, and we'll see where he goes. And a big payoff pitch to Vincenzo Casat. 3-2 on the way. That one lined out into right and off the glove and into right field. Green almost made a heck of a jumping grab, but it'll be a base hit for Casat, and there's the single you were talking about. Now we can start talking about the triple.
Like we need more storylines.
Josh Ebe.
Cannons offense providing all sorts of them tonight. That is the 10th hit in 3 innings for the Cannons this evening. And here's Josh Ebe. He's got one of his own. There is another arm up in Woodstock's bullpen. Kroom still needing just 1 out to get out of this inning. First pitch on the way to Ebe, and the breaker finds the outside edge for strike 1.
Yeah, we've been told Woodstock really struggling with arms, just having numbers. So they'd love to see guys go as long as they can, but you don't want the game to completely get away from you.
0-1 on the way. That's outside. Taking off for second was Casat. He's safe with a stolen base. Got a little look at third there, but able to recover the ball was Harriger. Hold him at second. But another runner in scoring position. Josh Ebe even in the count, 1-1. Here's the pitch. That one high in the sky, left side, and towards the bleachers and over him. In foul territory. Strike 2 to Ebe. 1-2 count now. Still 2 outs in the inning.
Don't want it to hit the stands, but we also don't want it to hit the ice cream truck or the beer tent.
Just preferably hit solid ground. Not always that lucky, unfortunately. 1-2 pitch to Josh eBay. Kroom kicks and delivers. That one fouled off right side. And over those bleachers, it'll stay 1-2.
A lot of good stuff over there. Of course, a lot of tents tonight. Bark in the Park. Some veterinary services. Some animal type businesses around tonight.
Still 1-2 to eBay. Another pitch from Kroom. Swung on and missed, and it's strike 3 swinging. So Kroom allows 3 runs on a pair of homers. And it is 9-3 Purcellville as we head to the top of the 4th.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome you back in. Cannons offense been alive and well tonight. It's 9-3 Purcellville after 3 complete innings here at Fireman's Field. Johnny Montgomery came in with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd and found his way out of it. He's back out onto the mound for Purcellville here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, good play. We really didn't discuss it because we had to get to the break, but the throw down by Green was a great one. Martinez did a great job of immediately looking over and holding the runner over at third base for that split second, then realizing he could get back and get Lockhart before the runner could score. And Lockhart kind of in no man's land there, able to slap the tag on him about maybe a few feet before Green came in with that run, and Jim Clayton was all over it, said run doesn't count. So the Cannons defense came up big there.
Yeah, we mentioned some struggles recently, none on that play. Great awareness from Eric Martinez, who has not played a ton of shortstop this season, so great to see that on the defensive end, and a great reach to make the tag as well. And what was supposed to be a double steal to make it 6-4 for Woodstock did not come to fruition, and 3 more runs from the Cannons have it 9-3 as we head to the 4th.
And it was an interesting move by Woodstock with, even though Chisholm had popped up twice, he's your leadoff man, had Worth, and, you know, obviously new pitcher in, so it changes the calculus there, but you're feeling yourself. You're trying to get that run in, I understand, but you're also with the youngster over there at first base, maybe tough to make him have to kind of, when do I stop, when do I come back, that type of thing to stay in the rundown long enough. Couldn't do it, and Martinez took advantage.
So once again, it's Kamari Chisholm at the plate, this time leading off, and it's up high for ball 1. The final line for Merrick Beamish, 2.2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. He hit 2 batters and had a wild pitch as well. 1-0 on the way, swung on, and I believe foul tipped for strike 1. One count. Chisholm 0 for 2 tonight. Here's the pitch, and it is outside to run it to 2-1. Chisholm gave the Cannons plenty of trouble back on July 2nd. He stole 5 bases, reached base 6 separate times in 7 total plate appearances. 2-1 count breaker in there, and we're even again, this time at 2.
Chisholm's a local. He's from Gainesville, so down in Prince William County, but also plays college ball at Hood College up in Frederick.
Went out there one time for a lacrosse camp. 2-2 popped up, shallow left field. Back on it is the shortstop Martinez. Will be caught off by Newcomb. And there's one out on the fly out to left from Chisholm.
Yeah, Hood College, nice school out there. I believe they host one of the local summer league semi-pro basketball teams is out there too. Flying Cows, I think.
Huh. Yeah, never actually heard of them. Maybe I'll have to go investigate. New batter Connor Worth. Here's the first pitch to him. This one chopped on the infield. Coming in is Martinez. Throw on to first, and another great defensive play at shortstop for Eric Martinez. It's out number 2 on the first pitch ground out from Connor Worth.
Yeah, after that error early on in the second, Martinez has settled in and made some pretty solid plays out there.
Love to see Montgomery work through this one as quickly as possible. 2 gone already. A tough out at the plate in Abdriel Delgado. You mentioned earlier the all-star or an all-star for this Woodstock team. First pitch on the way to him, and it is inside. Nearly got a piece of him, but missed for ball 1.
You know, who could give us chapter and verse on the Flying Cows would be Garrett Goldberger.
Yeah, he actually definitely could.
Yeah.
Calling the Purcellville
the
games.
The Virginia Valley Vipers calls their games. We can't phone a friend, though.
Nope. 1-0. That one high in the sky. We'll see who calls for it. Third baseman Marsala going over. He will make the grab in foul territory. And a shutdown 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Montgomery on the bump. It's Purcellville 9, Woodstock 3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons Baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball.
Welcome you back into Purcellville. Commanding lead for the Cannons through 3.5. It's 9-3 in favor of Purcellville as they look to pick up an ever important win here at home against Woodstock. Currently 2.5 games back in the Valley League North standings. We'll take a look at some scores from across the league. The team that leads them by 2.5, Winchester, leading Front Royal 6-2 in the bottom of the 4th at Winchester. Charlottesville and Covington's been postponed. Newmarket and Strasburg. Strasburg blowing them out 9-0 right now in the bottom of the 4th out in Strasburg. Obviously 9-3 here. Cannons on top. Culpeper, Harrisonburg has not started. And then Waynesboro tied 2-2 with Stanton in the top of the 3rd down in Stanton.
Yeah, and if you look at that breakdown, I guess you could say to yourself, well, if you're looking at it from the angle of we want to make sure we get a playoff spot, things are going good because you're beating Woodstock, Front Royal's losing, Strasburg's up on Newmarket. However, if you want to host as many games as you can in the playoffs, maybe not as good with Winchester having the lead against Front Royal and Strasburg up big on Newmarket.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a double-edged sword there between Strasburg and Newmarket. So either team wins that, they're going to stay one game back for second place. But.
Well, I will say this as the batter comes up, and you know this from working there, and I've called enough games. I feel like you trust Strasburg to be at their best in the playoffs a little more than Newmarket. That might not be fair to Newmarket, but the Express always seem to be in it at the end of the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe White, first base coach and assistant manager for this team, has talked to me a couple times about the not wanting to play Strasburg in Strasburg in the playoffs. First pitch up high from Kroom to Eric Martinez leading off for Purcellville this inning, but yeah, it's a tough place to play. Obviously, they know the environment. They know the shorter fences and how the ball flies there. Pitchers know better how to attack in a stadium like that. So, and the crowd also always shows out there. That one outside, 2-0 start to Martinez.
But it's fair to say the Cannons have had some great playoff wins out there. Won a series that they had to take game 3 out there. So
when I worked there, beat us in game 2 at Strasburg, convincingly, I might add. 2-0 pitch, that one finds the outside edge. And it's 2-1 to Eric Martinez. Seth Williams on deck, AJ Green in the hole. 4, 5, 6 in Purcellville's order. Still Neil Kroom on the mound. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits last inning. Here's the 2-1, and it's outside. 3-1 count. So 3-1 to Eric Martinez, looking to avoid the leadoff walk is Kroom. He will not. Breaker misses well upstairs, and it's a 5-pitch walk to get things started in the bottom of the 4th.
Didn't do that last inning, but that free pass hurts you every time, and Cannons will put their first man on as Williams coming up.
Yeah, Seth Williams, base hit and an RBI already today. He's 1 for 2. Also stole a base back in the first. Here's the first pitch to him from Neil Kroom, and it's popped up foul and out of play behind home plate. 0-1. Final line for Casey Proctor on the mound. 2 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts as well. Did allow a pair of home runs. Or a home run, excuse me. 0-1 pitch, that one lifted out high in the air into right field. Back on it is the second baseman, Green, and he will make the catch just in front of the right fielder Lockhart for out number 1.
The catcher,
Williams put plenty of air under that one. A little too much as it comes up in just shallow right field, but Martinez will hang out at first, and there's one away for AJ Green. Green walked his first time up, grounded out to short to lead off last inning. Kroom will check over, throws a little high, and back in safely is Martinez.
So I was looking it up, and I remember now Cullen Horowitz called him Big Bear here at 2 Bears, and he was the one that I believe hit 2 home runs in a game out there against Strasburg, and one of them I think was still going up as it went over the oak trees out in left field.
First pitch to Green in there for strike 1 called. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible to clear the oak trees with distance to go in Strasburg. I mean, if you hit one out there, ball is just about as gone as it gets with the cornfield and the forest. 0-1 count from Kroom, and he'll check over at first once again. Martinez back safe once again.
Is that the one that's on Stickley Loop?
I think that's the name of the street.
All right, it's somewhere deep in the recesses of my mind. That seemed to stick there.
0-1 count. Martinez is going to go. Kroom will step off, throw to second, and Martinez is out as Kroom steps off and throws on for out number 2.
Yeah, I don't like that play all that much because it kind of relies on the pitcher not doing what Kroom just did. Just step off and make a decent throw to the bag, and you got the guy. Though we have seen this year folks not do that kind of panic and just come home with it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be confident as a pitcher that you haven't already come set. That one 0-2, or not that you haven't already come set, but that you haven't started your pitching motion in any way.
And again, another part of that is having a talkative infield saying, hey, he's going, letting you know that, hey, I got to step off.
Yeah, either way, it worked for Kroom there. Now just 1 strike away from getting out of this 4th inning. The 0-2 just misses outside, and Green will stay alive at 1-2. It's Merkel Turner on deck. If Green can find his way on. 1-2 count, 2 gone and nobody on in the home half of this 4th inning. Here's the pitch from Kroom. That one laced out into right, but right at the right fielder Lockhart, and he'll make the grab for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 frame for Montgomery in the top of the 4th, a 1-2-3 frame for Kroom in the bottom of the 4th, and it's 9-3 Cannons as we head to the 5th.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome you back into Purcellville. It is still 9-3 Cannons on top as it stands. Johnny Montgomery back out for another inning of work. He's throwing 1.1 now. Granted, that .1 came on that throw down to second where the Cannons caught a runner in between first and second and stopped the run from scoring on the double steal. Merkel Turner will be due up next for the Cannons in the following inning, but this inning it's Giovanni Hernandez followed by Logan Duffy and Bryant Green. 4, 5, 6 in the Woodstock order. The 3 who did damage back in the top of the 3rd. Hernandez had a double followed by a Duffy RBI single and then another single from Bryant Green. Duffy would wind up coming around to score later on in the frame against Merrick Beamish. Montgomery, since he's come in, has been effective and efficient. 3 outs in 3 batters last inning. And he'll look to continue that trend here in the 5th, looking to provide some length out of the bullpen for this Cannons staff that is actually still rather deep, given the state of some bullpens and rotations in the Valley League.
And that's important, and that's kind of what Chris Glaze got to is, hey, if we can get all these guys out there, get them throwing strikes, we've got a pen we think that can kind of take us deep into the Valley playoffs, but we got to get them innings.
Montgomery picking up his 2nd of the night here. And the first pitch on the way to Giovanni Hernandez is low and away for ball 1.
Does this look like a different view for you? Like, because the lights are on a little early tonight because it's an overcast day, I feel like we haven't seen this particular, it just looks different to me. I don't know why.
I feel like the sky is bluer than it typically is when the lights come on. 1-0, slow breaker in there at 68 to even the count at 1-1.
And again, it was overcast most of the day. Did have a little bit of sun peek out, I think, right before game time. But
saw some rain here earlier as well. 1-1 grounded on top of the Woodstock dugout, and it's 1-2.
Did you guys get smashed down south yesterday?
The golf course I work at over in Brambleton got mowed pretty hard.
Yep.
That was 2 inches of rain. But South Riding actually not too bad, I don't think.
Leesburg got hammered pretty bad where I was at.
So at my friend's house closer to Leesburg, he got hit very hard. 1-2 pitch outside, and we're even at 2.
That's the funny part about Loudoun County, and obviously it's a sizable county, but the mountain ranges and things where weather just doesn't hit certain places.
Yeah, I mean, we call it at Brambleton the Brambleton bubble because it just seems to go around the golf course. Here's the 2-2, popped up, shallow center field. This could be trouble. Coming in on it is Williams, and a great sliding catch out in center from
looked like Turner got
Yeah,
it.
Merkel Turner actually comes across and makes the grab. It was Williams sliding.
Yeah, to avoid the contact there. Wow, that Lincoln, not to cut you off there, but that was a disaster waiting to happen, and Williams somehow had enough sense to slide and let Turner make the catch, but go by him.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder how much of that is intentional, or if he was sliding to try and make the catch, and Turner just took it from right above him. But yeah, you were right, disaster waiting to happen with the slide, and luckily, just an out. First pitch to Logan Duffy is waved at for strike one. Seen that twice tonight now on defense for Purcellville. Once in foul territory on the infield, and then now out in right center. Second baseman Bell was also back there. That one up and in, and even at 1-1 to Logan Duffy.
Yeah, again, surprised you don't see it more in the majors where guys are going 100% after balls, and sometimes go till you can get it turns into a collision.
1-1 inside, and it's 2-1. Yeah, a lot of the time not even with another player. Major leagues, you see it a lot with the wall, because less worried about hitting the wall in the majors when you're playing for your job every day.
And there's some padding.
Yeah, and a little bit of a monetary incentive.
Yeah.
2-1 count. That one lined on the ground to short, picked up cleanly by Martinez and thrown on to first for a clean out number 2. How about the recovery at shortstop after that initial error from Martinez?
Second baseman, number 27, Bryant Green.
That one bounce off the glove back in the second, but since then, a couple of great plays at shortstop. And now 2 gone for Bryant Green as Montgomery looking for another efficient inning. First pitch on the way, and it's low and away, 1-0. Green's got a base hit and a walk today, at an RBI walk back in the first. Here's the 1-0 from Johnny Montgomery. That one outside as well, and now 2-0. Got the righty KJ Moon on deck. The lefty Bryant Green at the plate. 2-0's the count, nobody on, 2 outs in the inning, and that one on the inside edge of the zone for strike 1. Count moves to 2-1. Fourth inning was the first inning of the contest to not see any runs. And here is a 2-1 driven out into deep right center. Turner back on it, and a great running catch from Merkel Turner out in right. A couple of big plays from him in this 5th inning. And it's 1-2-3 once again for Johnny Montgomery on the bump. He sat down 6 in a row, and it's 9-3 Cannons as we head to the home half.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome back into Fireman's Field here in Purcellville, Virginia. Cannons nursing a 6-run lead as it stands. They lead it 9-3. They've out-hit Woodstock 10-4 to this point. They've made 1 error to Woodstock's 0, but those have not wound up mattering to this point. It'll remain Neil Kroom III on the mound for the River Bandits. he responded well to the 1-2-3 inning from Montgomery in the 4th. He'll have to answer another 1-2-3 inning from Montgomery here in the 5th. 7, 8, 9 due up for the home team. Raquel Turner, Logan Newcomb, and Andrew Bell in that order. Will be the 3rd plate appearance of the night for each of them respectively. Cannons were blanked for the 1st inning all night long in the bottom of the 4th. The River Bandits in need of some scoreless pitching to try and keep themselves within some sort of a striking distance, down 6 here, with just 4 innings of offense to play for him, so 12 outs to work with. Merkel Turner stands in, RBI base hit in the 1st and a fly out to left his last time up. It's a guy who's hit the ball hard this year, maybe not gotten the result he's hoped for every time, as that one misses for ball 1. .1-0 pitch on the way to Turner, and he watches that one as well. It's low for ball 2. We saw Kroom walk the leadoff man in the top of the bottom of the 4th, and then he was caught stealing when Kroom stepped off the mound and threw to second himself. 2-0 on the way, and that one laced foul by Turner, out of play on the right side. Kind of dug that one out of the dirt there and made some very solid contact just late, and sprays it foul to the right side, probably onto the Little League field over there. Probably a dog's heaven, chasing down as much fetch as you want out there. That one high in the air left field. Moving under it is Hernandez, and he will make the routine catch for out number 1.
The left fielder,
so that one high in the air from Merkel Turner. Goes a decent ways, but it's Giovanni Hernandez who gets under it. And 1 away now for Logan Newcomb. He started a 2-out rally back in the 3rd that with a double that was followed by back-to-back home runs from Andrew Bell and Thomas Marsala. So 1 for 2 on the night. First pitch to him, that one lined out into right. Moving over to it, making the grab is Camden Lockhart for out number 2. So an efficient first 2 outs from Neil Kroom as he looks to continue to match Johnny Montgomery's performance here in the 5th. Andrew Bell certainly got the best of Neil Kroom his last time up. It was a long home run, and he enjoyed it, as he should, his first of the year. 2-run shot. Check swings of this one, and home plate umpire Jim Clayton says he went around for strike 1. Third inning of work here for Neil Kroom. And it's 0-1 to the 9-hitter Andrew Bell. That one in there for strike 2. And Kroom 1 strike away from getting out of this one.
You know Kroom would love nothing better than to set down Bell on the at-bat after he watched his homer go out.
On 3 pitches nonetheless. This would certainly be sweet as a pitcher. And Kroom going to look to do it here. 0-2 count, 2 gone, nobody on, and Andrew Bell at the plate. Here's the pitch. Chopped third base side. This could be tough. Bell's got some wheels. Throw on is in time. A nice play at third from KJ Moon. And it's 3 up, 3 down once again for Neil Kroom in the 5th. It's 9 for the Cannons and 3 for the River Bandits as we head to inning number 6.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub,
Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball.
Welcome back into Purcellville, top of the 6th inning here at Fireman's Field. New pitcher on the mound for the Cannons after 2.1 shutout innings of work from Johnny Montgomery. It's Esmael Maya. He has pitched in one game this season. It was a start through 1 inning. Currently an 18 ERA, although likely affected by the lack of innings. It was 1 inning, 2 earned runs in that contest. Gave up 3 hits, walked 2. And struck out 1. Opponents hit 750 against him. He'll look for a slightly better result here tonight. He's got a bit of a cushion with the 9-3 lead. And actually warming up to Shin Inoue's walk-up song, or old walk-up song.
Did he change it?
No, that was his one this year, but obviously with the speculation about the draft and the current ailment that Shin Inoue has, not sure if we'll get the honor of watching him don the Cannons uniform on the field.
He was out there at night. I saw him walking around, and I don't know. I think he did line up for the national anthem. And again, this place has meant a lot to Shin. He admits it. And Brett Fuller says, look, the loyalty that kid showed to us coming back, and, where he could have found somewhere, but again, with the new Valley rules changing on what players are actually eligible, where in the past it was guys that had graduated were not eligible. Now you can play up until the draft, and he's doing just that. Major League Draft this weekend. If Shin possibly could go in that, but if not, we were talking earlier that I believe he's got a Japanese industrial league that he's got lined up to play in. If he doesn't play or gets hurt, I believe he gets a job there, but then also takes his shot at the KBO, not the KBO, the Nippon Professional Baseball. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's certainly a Cannons legend in his own right. 2 years here, played here in 2024 on the team that was the runner-up as they fell to the Charlottesville Tom Sox. First pitch from Maya is up high for ball 1. And then this past summer in 2025 went to the Cape Cod League, played for the Harwich Mariners, had himself a solid season in the Cape Cod, and then came back to the Cannons for one final season. He's been arguably the best player on offense for them so far this year. That one outside to make it 2-0. So.
And the cool thing about bringing a guy like Shin back is that he's just a nice kid, but also he knows a lot of baseball, and he's a good guy to kind of talk to, see the work habits, all the things he's done to make himself a better player.
Yeah, I mean, a multi-year good Big 12 performer, 2-0 misses low and away, and it's 3-0. That's certainly no joke of a baseball conference, the Big 12. We saw it make plenty of noise in the College World Series this year, and Kansas State, no slouch of a program either. Always competing in that conference. 3-0 low and away, and 4 pitches, 4 balls to KJ Moon to lead off walk here in the top of the 6th.
Brett Fuller already up off of his bucket. He's not happy with that. Right now with a 6-run lead, he wants his guys throwing strikes, and didn't come close right there.
Yeah, gotta be able to find the zone here consistently and try and keep this lead where it's at. Obviously, you've got some cushion to work with, but you'd like that cushion to stay. And that one misses as well. It's 5 straight balls to open the outing here in the 6th as he looks to land one in the zone. 1-0 to the new hitter, Jackson Harriger, who is 0 for 1 today. 1-0 up high again. Back pick opportunity. A good throw from Green, but good hustle to get back in safely from KJ Moon.
Kobe White's going to go out now, so this is the 3rd different coach we've seen go out to talk to a Cannons pitcher, and Kobe White will chat with Mayon. Part of me wonders if this is, it's interesting that he goes out there.
Yeah, we've seen, actually, I'm not sure that I've seen Kobe White do a mound visit solo.
I think he did before Coach Glaze got here, because I think Coach Glaze missed a couple games early because he was still coaching high school ball. His team was still in it. So I feel like Kobe might have done that maybe in game one, maybe the second home game, but after that it's been either Glaze or Fuller going out there.
I mean, not always a bad idea to get the young guy who is around the age of a lot of these players, played here last summer, to kind of connect on a more, hey, I've been on the field in the last year level. So we've seen a couple different coaches go out. We'll see what impact Kobe White has, and that's the first strike of the night for Maya. So looks like got what he was looking for out of the mound meeting. Now just got to continue to find the zone here. 2-1. That one checked at high and in and fouled off by Harriger. Sure he would have liked to not get a piece of that one, but he does, and it's 2-2. Camden Lockhart on deck. Nobody out in the inning. 2-2. Runner fakes going, and it's low and away. It'll run full. I'm sure KJ Moon will actually be taking off now. So what feels like a pretty big payoff pitch here early in the outing for Maya. Here it is, 3-2, and it's up high. A full count walk to Jackson Harriger, and it's back-to-back free passes to start this sixth inning.
And it feels like Maya might have one more batter left, because Brett Fuller's getting itchy on the trigger finger right now.
Number 30, Camden Lockhart.
If you can't find the plate with a 6-run lead, I don't think he's got much use for you being out there right now.
Yeah, we've seen pitchers struggle with command at times this year for Purcellville. That one in the zone and lifted out into right center. Moving over to it is Turner. He'll make the grab and launch it in. Caught it second on the cutoff, so KJ Moon will advance successfully. Jackson Harriger has to hang out over at first, and one away now with runners on the corners. So a well-timed and much-needed out for Maya on the mound.
And again, this, especially against right-handed batters, it's a pitcher's park. Now, left-handed batters, it completely changes, but for righty batters, it's, for the most part, a pitcher's park. You got to be able to put the ball over the plate, make them hit their way on, obviously getting out by doing it.
First pitch on the way to Chisholm. Swung on, fouled off for strike one. It's back to the top of the order for Woodstock. Chisholm's 0 for 3 tonight. Did lots of damage here back on July 2nd, but he's been held relatively quiet by Cannon's pitching tonight. He'd love to break that silence here. Jim Clayton gonna, looks like, remind Maya on the mound that he's got to make eye contact with the hitter when he comes set in the box. Part of the new pitch count rule set. Here's the 0-1. Nearly gets him, and it's 1-1.
You see that a lot more than you see actual violations nowadays. It's the pitcher doesn't look at the batter and make that eye contact when he's ready to go.
1-1 count. Runners on the corners with one away. That one up high. And now 2-1 to Chisholm. Connor Worth on deck. Number of dangerous hitters in lieu for Woodstock. Connor Worth, Abdriel Delgado, and Giovanni Hernandez. 2, 3, 4 in the order behind Chisholm. 2-1 pitch. Breaker misses. And it's 3-1. One ball away from walking the bases loaded. You got to find the zone here if you're Maya, or I would imagine we'll be seeing a bullpen trip. That one laced out into center field, moving over to Seth Williams. It will plate the run from third, but a big second out, and he avoids walking the bases loaded. One run not worst case scenario here, it's 9-4 still, Purcellville on top.
Yeah, we've seen it so far that those 2 fly balls, good contact was made, but only 1 run has come in. As opposed to you groove 1, bases loaded, they're back in the ball game. Now they have 1. If you can go out and find a way to get Worth, it's a single. You can handle the single on the board. It's the crooked numbers that'll hurt you.
And Cannon's been smart with the throws back in. First pitch in there for strike 1 to Connor Worth. They have not bothered trying the crazy long throws to the plate or to third. Just get it into second and keep that runner at first. So nobody in scoring position and 1 in. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one laced out into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. In on it comes Newcomb. Runner will hold at second. That one thrown over second, but recovered by the first baseman, Cassad. And first and second with 2 gone now for Woodstock.
I don't know if Newcomb lost track of what was going on right there, but wasn't really going to throw behind the runner and on a wide turn. So as you gave that praise, smart throws. But again, the young freshman out there upcoming, still learning, playing in the outfield.
And no damage on it. Cassat there to back it up. First pitch on the way to Abdiel Delgado, swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. This is a dangerous hitter at the plate in what feels like a pretty big spot for the Woodstock River Bandits. 2 runners on and 2 out. They trail this game by 5 with 10 outs to play with as it stands. 0-1 on the way, and that's low for ball 1. We're even at 1. Giovanni Hernandez in the on-deck circle. He doubled earlier. Delgado 0 for 2 with a walk. 1-1 pitch. That's going to get him on the back of the leg, and that will load the bases for the aforementioned Giovanni Hernandez, and it looks like it'll be a different pitcher seeing Hernandez when we come back from a break. Brett Fuller going to make the trot out to the mound, motion down to the bullpen, and that'll do it for Esmael Maya here in this outing. So 0.2 for him. He'll head to the bench, and a new arm will come in to try and get this final out with the bases loaded when we come back.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome you back into historic Fireman's Field here in Purcellville, Virginia. New pitcher on the mound for the Cannons. He's got quite the task in front of him. It's Easton Embry with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a 5-run ball game. He's got a 2-1 record on the year. He's pitched in 10 games, 14.2 innings to a 6.75 ERA. A 1.84 whip, opponents hitting .339 against him. Big spot here, and really all you're looking for from a guy you're bringing in this spot is throw strikes and make them beat you themselves as opposed to on a free pass.
Yeah, that was ultimately the issue for Maya. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. And when you come in with a 6-run lead, it's kind of the unforgivable sin. So Brett Fuller goes to Easton Embry, hoping he can get the out with the bases loaded and keep this a 5-run game. You know, we've kind of touched on it, especially in Woodstock situation, but even for the Cannons right now, a run rule win is important because it's 2 innings you don't have to cover when it comes to your pitching staff right now. So the Cannons were maybe eyeing that, and now you're 1 swing away from a 1-run game. So you hope that Embry can put out the fire here.
Yeah, and it's a guy at the plate certainly capable of delivering that swing. It's Giovanni Hernandez, who doubled earlier in this contest, has plenty of extra base hits this season. He's been one of the better hitters in this Woodstock lineup, and it's a big spot for him here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. This feels like if you don't score here, if you're Woodstock, you feel a little deflated that you've left 3 runners on now for the second time this game. And you need to avoid that if you're Giovanni Hernandez. But Easton Embry, you mentioned it, one swing can make this 9-8. And there is maybe a bug in the eye of Hernandez.
He was kind of bearing down in the middle of his routine to get ready, and then he just kind of doubled back and put that hand up to the eye, and Jim Clayton stops it, and Hernandez has enough time, gives Clayton a pat on the side and said, "I'm ready."
The hometown Bugs at Fireman's Field. Trying to go to work here with 2 outs. Easton Embry on the bump, trying to get out of the jam. First pitch on the way. Line to second. Bell gets in front of it, picks it up, throws on to first. 1 pitch, and the fire's put out by Easton Embry in the top of the 6th. 1 run across for Woodstock. It's a 9-4 Purcellville lead as we head to the home half.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome back into Purcellville. New pitcher on the mound for Woodstock. He takes over for Neil Kroom III. It's Alex Pazos, the left-hander. 3 appearances on the year, 2.2 innings to a 16.88 ERA, 3.75 whip. And opponents hitting just 222 against him. The problem, 8 walks to 1 strikeout in those 3 appearances.
Listed from a pretty cool college, Wayland Baptist. Just sounds cool, like Waylon Jennings has a college.
Does sound pretty cool. Is it a Waylon Jennings college?
No.
Sure?
Definitely not. Wouldn't be a Baptist college, that's for sure.
Waylon Jennings actually did not go to college, but
Wayland Baptist.
His mother actually originally named him Wayland after Wayland Baptist University.
There you go.
So, fun fact for you.
That's a factoid right there. Looks like someone's been sitting in the booth next to me too long.
Yeah, that's a me and you stat for fact for sure. It's not quite on the level of I'm blanking on the name of the college, the teachers' college. That
East Stroudsburg.
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
East Stroudsburg. Yeah. Everyone's most well-known university on Cannon's broadcast.
You know, and the funny thing is, it's kind of a little like Shepherd College is down here, where I know I had at least 3 or 4 teachers, and this was 30 years ago, but that went to Shepherd, but it was a teacher's college, so.
We've had plenty of players come through Purcellville from Shepherd as well.
The third baseman, number 31.
The first hitter in the inning for Purcellville is a dangerous one. It's the leadoff man, Thomas Marsala. He's got a base hit, a home run, and a walk today. As the first pitch from Alex Bezos is on the way. Swung on and missed. Marsala was trying to tear the cover off that baseball, but just under it, and it's 0-1. A 1 count to the first batter of this home half of the 6th inning, and that is up and in on Marsala to even the count at 1-1. It's Vincenzo Casat on deck, Josh Ebay in the hole. the top of the Purcellville order, and 3 very dangerous hitters who are a combined 7 for 9 or 7 for 8, 6 for 8 tonight. That one misses to make it 2-1. But yeah, between the top 3 hitters in Purcellville's lineup, we've got a pair of base hits, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs, and 2 doubles, as well as a walk, and 6 runs scored. So a lot of production from the top 3. And a 2-1 to Marsala. There is more production from the top 3. A base hit for Thomas Marsala, just under the glove of a diving Bryant Green. And the leadoff man is on once again here in the 6th.
Yeah, Green had a good shot at it, but went into the dive, and a little bit of sink on that line drive, ended up just underneath the glove, and then kicked off of him out toward Lockhart, out into right field.
Here has been the man of the hour for the Cannons tonight, Vincenzo Casat. Double in the first, homer in the second, single in the third. He's got 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored in his 3 for 3 efforts so far, in addition to a stolen base. That one behind him for ball 1. Not often you see a pitch go behind a hitter and actually curve back towards the catcher around him, but Casat avoids being hit.
Now almost in the area of the barrel there. That is always a tough one. We saw it go off the knob earlier, and you leave the bat up and it hits the bat.
That one fouled off left side, and count evens to 1-1 to Casat. You mentioned how big the bases loaded out was for Purcellville. This inning feels like a must-have for Woodstock if you're going to continue to try and fight back into this game, down by 5 runs. Here's the 1-1. That's going to get away. Marsala going to jog comfortably to second. And the wild pitch eliminates the double play and moves a runner to scoring position with nobody out here in the 6th.
And back to a 5-run game. As you mentioned, with a lineup that's done damage tonight, Cannons would love another big inning here. Giving themselves a shot at ending this one early, but just to keep those bats going.
It's Casat tasked with that right here. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one inside, and it's 3-1 to Casat. Reminder, eBay on deck. He's got a double tonight. Eric Martinez in the hole. It's the 2-hitter Vincenzo Casat, trying to further his resume this evening with more work here. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Driven out into left field. That one is back and trailing on Hernandez. He will make the catch deep in left field up against the wall, and it's out number 2, or out number 1. But I tell you what, that had me thinking about
the designated hitter number
the accomplishment that it trailed over his head in that corner. But
yeah, and that's not a bad swing there, to kind of much pop the other way and be willing to go the other way with a pitch and drive it like Casat did there. And, those are the ones we were talking earlier. He's still thinking cycle at some point. That might have been the type that you would get that hits and kicks.
yeah, he put it pretty deep out there and left right down that line. Marsala takes a big lead. First pitch to eBay is outside to make the count 1-0. So Bezos trying to work out of this inning, potentially now without allowing a run, if he can get these next 2 guys out. 1-0 pitch outside again, and it's 2-0. eBay got his 1 hit tonight in the first inning when the Cannons led off this game with a single and a pair of doubles. He'd love a second hit here with a runner on second and 1 out. Here's the 2-0, and it's in there for strike 1. So much needed strike from Bezos. Two 1 count, 1 away. Checked at, did he go? He did not, says First base umpire positioned over at second, Chris Curley.
Iquibe caught a break on that one because Curley being up the middle has a more definitive down the line view. I think he might have got him, but instead gets a ball there.
It catches a break potentially. Not a break for Pezos. 3-1 count, runners on the move, and that's ball 4 and a stolen base for Thomas Marsala. Cannons on the corners with 1 out in the inning.
You mentioned it before. Marsala's got some speed, and obviously you see there a little bit of base running savvy to take third there. And he's trying to work on that defense to make himself a little more attractive to some folks in the baseball world.
The more adept you are in every part of the game, the more useful you become to every team. Marsala adept in just about all of them. Speedy first baseman. First pitch on the way to Eric Martinez is low for ball 1. Cannons would love to add some more here. We mentioned the mercy rule earlier. If they can tack on a couple here, it is back towards possible. 1-0, that one laced. Just fouled on the right side, and it's 1-1. Pezos comes set on the hill. 1-1 pitch with 1 out and 2 runners on. Outside, and it's now 2-1 to Martinez at the plate. Seth Williams on deck. Williams has an RBI base knock today. That came back in the first. Martinez still looking for his first hit. Did walk in his last at bat. 2-1, low and in. And now 3-1 as Bezos in danger of walking back-to-back batters here with 1 out. If you're Martinez, got to think you're sitting on a fastball roughly middle. If it's not that pitch, I'd let it go. Force him to throw you a strike here. 3-1 pitch, runner is off. That one high in the sky, right side of the infield foul territory. eBay is going to have to hustle back, and caught in foul territory by the first baseman Delgado. Looked like it almost got away from him there, but able to haul it in. Two gone in the inning. Still runners on the corners for Seth Williams, as Alex Pezos looks to work his way out of this jam. No runs in the inning yet. First pitch to Williams, fouled off behind the plate for strike 1.
Little emergency hack right there. Almost by him, and Williams let fly.
We've seen him jam out base hits on 1 or 2 of those pitches this year, but obviously not the one you're looking for. 0-1, floated out to shortstop and right at him. Caught by Worth, and that will end the 6th inning here at Fireman's Field. Score, Purcellville 9, Woodstock 4. We've got 3 innings to play. Don't go anywhere.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons Baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball.
one big final, Cannon's cast-off, before he becomes a professional baseball player.
Welcome you back into Purcellville to the sound of a standing ovation for the aforementioned Shin Inoue in his last game with the Purcellville Cannons. Tonight, 2024 Valley League MVP for the Cannons in that runner-up season. We mentioned a franchise legend and certainly got the standing ovation of one there.
Sure. I mean, guys have come here, and I don't know if anybody's had an effect on a team that Shin Inoue had, because you could say, and Ryan Guida, heck of a kid and heck of a hitter, but Shin, I think, between his defense and kind of the way he played ball, that unselfish way he played, really helped that 2024 team kind of buy into team baseball. And that's part of the reason that they made the run they did, because they all played together. And Shin Inoue kind of typifies that, a guy that is a team player, a guy that works hard. As Coach Fuller, we caught the tail end of some of his comments, said, look, just a really good kid. And one of the things that I was doing some research preseason about Shin is that he's really improved his English over the last couple of years, because he thought it was important. He said, look, to be the best player I can be, the best person I can be living over here, I got to get better at speaking English. And he's really gotten better at it. And it was something that he decided, look, I have to work on. And you don't always see that. Some players just kind of let it be another thing. But he was like, no, I want to be able to do everything, converse with all my teammates fluently. And he's just done a great job for this Cannons program. He'll be missed. And, of course, good luck. Hopefully we see him have his name called this weekend. If not, I'm sure it'll be called over in Japan in a few more days after that.
Yeah, nothing but congrats and thank yous to Shin Inoue from the booth. Obviously, class act baseball player, a heck of a baseball player, and also the hardest worker you might ever see on a baseball field. You mentioned the work to improve the English, and he's been a core cog of this team in 2026 as well. One that the fans will surely miss, and we will as well. First pitch from Embry here in the top of the 7th, misses for ball 1. And you mentioned Brett Fuller down there, mentioned how good of a teammate Shin is. The ability to do what's asked of him is how I would put it. 1-0 from Embry is in there to make it 1-1, but it's a guy that could lead this team in homers if he wanted to swing for the fences every time he stepped up. It's a guy that steals bases at, right now, the #1 clip in the Valley League. He leads the league as we sit here. He'll lay down 20 bunts if you ask him to. This one swung on and missed. A great breaker from Embry, and it's 1-2. But back to Shin, just true all-around baseball player. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. He was a 2 guy. He was a leadoff guy. He played fantastic defense at shortstop. He's played second when asked to. Just nothing but positive reviews from myself in the booth, and he will be sorely missed the rest of the way. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike number 3, and 4 pitches and 1 out for Easton Embry in the 7th.
Also, official score Dan Hunter saying that Shin leads the team in ERA as well.
That is true. I don't believe you were here for that game, but yeah, Shin Inoue came in for an inning, struck out 2 batters, did not allow a run. So 0 ERA on the year for Shin Inoue, and he likes to remind the pitching staff, I'm hearing, that he is the league leader, or team leader as well. First pitch fouled off for strike 1 to Bryant Green now at the plate.
Quick story. I'll try not to bogart your time here, but it was one of the playoff games down against Charlottesville in the championship series. Broke a bat.
0-1, that one low.
And I was watching with a good high school friend of mine who lives down in the area, and his daughter says, "Dad, can we get that bat that he just broke?" And I could see where this was going. This was going to be a meltdown. My buddy having to go home early.
1-1 pitch, waved at, and it's 1-2 now to Bryant Green.
So I said, "Hey, hon, I know Shin from calling his games. I'll ask to see if I can get you the bat, right?" So comes on a little later in the story.
1-2 pitch on its way to Green. Looking for out number 2 is Embry. Here it is, swing and a miss, and back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Easton Embry here to start the 7th, 2 away.
So anyway, I go to Brett and I say, hey, it would be possible to get that broken bat. And there was a little bit of negotiation there because they were selling bats off and things. And he said, yeah, it's fine. So I get it. He ended up visiting his parents who still live in Leesburg. I bring the bat, give it to the daughter. I think by that point she had forgotten the fact that she wanted it a month ago.
That's in there, strike one to the new batter, KJ Moon.
A couple of forced thank yous in there. Now, again, my buddy, his wife, his parents all thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
0-1, misses inside, 1-1, but another example of the impact of Shannon away from your personal experience.
Yeah.
He's one of the first people I met here this year as well when I got back for this season. 1-1 pitch, low and away, and 2-1 now. But yeah, unfortunate that you can't see him out here one last time due to the slight back ailment, but understandably has to be rested up and ready to go for the drafts coming up. 2-1 pitch, breaker on the outside edge, and we're even at 2-2.
And upon professional baseball, they do their draft in October. So we've heard the plan is if he doesn't get drafted this weekend, there's an industrial league out in Japan he'll likely play in, waiting for the draft there.
That one fouled off, and it will remain 2-2. I got a little flashback. A.J. Green took a similar foul ball like that to a painful spot a couple games ago here. Those ones that just bounce straight into the plate. Staying alive, though, is Moon. Here's another 2-2 from Embry. And line foul behind the plate. He'll stay alive again. Embry's come in and done a solid job thus far. Got a one-pitch ground out to end the top of the 6th. Strand the bases loaded. And he's struck out both batters he's seen so far in this frame. Still 2-2 to KJ Moon. Here's the offering. And it will remain 2-2 to KJ Moon. Another foul ball. This one bounces off of Moon's shoulder and heads back into play, but good battle.
Not to be completely off topic, but I feel like the River Bandits have kind of upped their uni game this year.
No, I like these oranges. It used to be, what was it, a green?
They did orange too, but they were very plain. This
they had
looks
the
like
logo like right on the chest.
I think so.
This is the full act here with these orange unis. 2-2. Still the count. Here it is, and that one chopped to shortstop. Martinez backhands, throws on. What a play from the shortstop, Eric Martinez. He has found his groove over there at the 6, and that's 3 outs for Easton Embry here in the 7th. So Woodstock going to try and keep this one 9-4 when we come back for the home half.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome you back into Purcellville. It remains a 9-4 ball game in favor of the home team. Alex Pezos back out onto the mound for Woodstock, trying to keep it at 5 where it stands.
Stretching to some Goo Goo Dolls.
Indeed. Always got pretty good 7th inning stretch songs here, I feel. We've got...
So I guess you don't like Take Me Out to the Ball Game because we don't play it here.
Nah, I mean, it's a classic, right? But I feel like It can get old at times. I mean, you got to play it once per game, I'd figure.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, you get that, and then you get the Sagan to "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," which they do in Baltimore, which a lot of places do that around here because of Baltimore.
yeah, I forget what the Nationals do. I was actually just at a game the other day. I should know this, but
Wasn't important. Don't worry about it.
we were up 8-2 by the 7th. I was just praying the bullpen held on to it this time.
Number 2, A.J.
While I watched Orlando Revolta get warm in the pen.
It's been a rough year for that Nationals bullpen.
But a good year for the Nationals as a whole.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Still in the playoff run in a pretty loaded National League. Pezos set on the mound. His first pitch of the bottom of the 7th goes wide into the backstop for ball 1. It's A.J. Green at the plate, Merkel Turner on deck, and Logan Newcomb in the hole.
You know, it was a good 15 years before you were born, so obviously you don't know this, but there was the why not season for the Orioles back in 1989 where they had, the year before, had set the record for most losses to start a season. They began the year 0-21.
Which was, no, it wasn't broken by the White Sox. They just did the longest losing streak.
Whatever it was, but they started the year 0-21, and the next year they went down to basically the last weekend against the Blue Jays. Didn't make it, just finished just out of it.
1-0's in the dirt. It's now 2-0. I mean, you do see that from time to time. I mean, the Orioles did it not too many years ago. They were one of the worst teams in baseball. And then the very next year, I actually think they might have made a wild card spot. I'm not sure of that.
That 2012 team went pretty good. That was the one that knocked off the Red Sox knocked them out in 2011. Then 2012 they made the wild card and won it
against the Blue Jays, if I'm not mistaken. That one missed as well.
That was the
DS.
That was the Ranger year that they kind of went worst to first. The 16 was where they didn't put Zach Britton in. That was kind of the end of that run of that team.
I'm thinking of the 2016 wild card. That one low and a 4-pitch walk to get things started here in the 7th. A.J. Green will take his base.
If I remember correctly, that 2012 wild card game was Joe Saunders outpitched Yu Darvish, which was one of those you go in and say, yeah, we got no shot. They've got this whole team. And actually that Ranger team had kind of fallen off the face of the earth. They had looked like they were going to be big the whole year. They got caught by the A's, I think maybe the final day, as we have a mound visit now. But Orioles ended up getting the wild card, had to go on the road, and Joe Saunders pitched well that day, and they ended up getting the win.
You're not kidding. Joe Saunders, 77 pitches, 1 run against him to Yu Darvish's 2. And they did win that game 5-1.
And then they lost to the Yankees in 5. And we're going to have a pitching change, it looks like.
Yep, Woodstock going to go to the bullpen here after the leadoff walk to start this bottom of the 7th inning from Alex Pezos, and his evening will come to a close. We'll tell you all about the new arm when we come back.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons Baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball.
Welcome you back into Purcellville. New arm on the mound for Woodstock. It is part-time right fielder, part-time right-handed pitcher Jack Turner. Looks like he has done mostly pitching this season, and he's appeared in plenty of games. No exact innings number because he is a two-way player, but it appears to be about 10 or so innings pitched for him on the year. He has been a frequent performer for Woodstock. These guys are always valuable in the Valley League as well because you get an arm and a lineup piece all in one. Cannons have a couple of them. There's Logan Newcomb, obviously, who sits in the mid-90s. You've got Shin Inoue, who we just talked about, won't be here any longer, but he was a two-way by the nature of the name.
Well, it's funny because Turner is out of Averett, and you see it more on the Division III level because guys just, the rosters, you don't have as many good players. If you get a good player that can do multiple things, you're going to put them out there. Where, obviously, in the Division I level, I feel like up there, when I've seen it more, it's kind of the hook to get a guy in, and then it becomes, hey, by the way, you're a much better pitcher. Let's do that instead.
Yeah, it tends to be more of in the commitment post, two-way player, and then you get to college and you do transfer. I mean, it's hard to stay healthy as a two-way player. We've seen Otani struggle with some injury. Obviously, he throws a little harder than most people as well, but knee soreness right now going to keep him out of the All-Star game. That was announced today. So hopefully that's nothing too serious, but first pitch on the way from Jack Turner, and it's laced out into center by Merkel Turner for a base hit. Just an absolute rocket up the middle on the first pitch he saw from Turner, and it's first and second with nobody out.
Before Newcomb comes up, since you're significantly younger than I am, when I was a kid, obviously, this was a chance to see an Otani. Do you think it even matters anymore if the kids, Otani won't play in the All-Star game?
Like, as in going to the All-Star game to see an Otani?
Just watching it on TV to say, hey, it's kind of cool that Otani's playing against it. But we see it all the time with interleague play, I guess, now. So
yeah, I mean, at this point, it's almost become a regularity. First pitch on the way to Newcomb in there for strike one, but you never want to take it for granted because we really might never see it again. It might never happen again, especially at this level. I mean, we're talking about a top 5 pitcher in baseball probably comfortably, and with Aaron Judge injured right now, the best hitter in the sport, or second. That one misses to make it 1-1 behind likely only Yordan Alvarez. But he has been unreal this season, and you see more two-way players starting to try and make it work now with him laying out a blueprint. 1-1 pitch in there. Newcomb disagrees, but it's 1-2.
Yeah,
and Newcomb obviously a two-way player in his own right. 1-2 count. Newcomb looking to avoid his second strikeout of the night. And that one will skip in the dirt. Both runners going to take off. There won't be a play anywhere, and it's second and third with nobody out in a 2-2 count.
Yeah, somebody, I was listening to Tony Kornheiser's podcast, and they had Buster Olney on, and he said, look, you can look at Ruth, but Ruth basically had already made the transition before he was hitting like Otani hits now. He wasn't really pitching any type of full-time basis anymore, so it's you're right, it's something we've really never seen before.
I mean, of course, much less stress likely on Babe Ruth's elbow, with velocity being a lot lower back when he played. 2-2 pitch, that's going to get Newcomb on the hand. So he will head down to first, and just like that, the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Chance right here for the Cannons. Nobody out, bases loaded. If they could, with a really big inning here, they could conceivably end this. And with Marsala and Kusat lurking, good at-bat from Bell could go a long way.
And we saw Bell launch his first homer of the year back in the 3rd inning. 2-run moonshot over the wall and left. Any hit here will suffice, though. Bases loaded, nobody out. That's grounded to short. This could be 2. Flip to second for 1, on to first. Incredible hustle by Andrew Bell, and he beats it out. So it's just 1 out on the fielder's choice and an RBI fielder's choice for Andrew Bell.
Tell you what, he caught a break on that grass because you saw that ball oscillate again, and it felt like it just kept slowing down just enough before it got to the infielder and gave him enough to beat the throw, according to Carly down at first base.
The third baseman, number
It was certainly a close play at first. It was not a call I was making from the booth, that's for sure, but Bell beats it out, and he's a threat to steal second now as well with plenty of speed. Top of the order up in Thomas Marsala. He's 3 for 3 with a walk as well. Here's the first pitch to him, and that is in there for strike one in what is now a 10-4 ball game in favor of the Cannons. Oh, 1 from Jack Turner on the way. Taking off for second is Andrew Bell. There won't be a throw. And so the inning-ending double play now out of commission.
Cannon's got a little lucky on that one. That thing's so far out that Harriger had no shot. He just wanted to make sure he got it to make sure no run came in from third base.
He did do a good job to kind of jump out and make the snare, but no chance to throw him out. 1-1 is laced foul down the left side and well out of play. And it's 1-2 to Marsala. Mentioned Cassatt on deck. Not any less dangerous than the guy at the plate. If anything, been even more dangerous tonight with a pair of extra base hits. Which, hard to be more dangerous than a guy who's 3 for 3, but that one's in the dirt, and it's going to now be even at 2-2. First base open. There's Andrew Bell on second. Merkel Turner, excuse me, on third. 1 run in the inning and 1 out. Turner looks to keep the damage to a minimum. Here's the 2-2 to Marsala, and it's in the dirt. Great block from Harriger behind the plate to ensure no more advancement from the runners and no second run, but the count runs full. Three-two count, payoff pitch shortly on its way to Thomas Marsala. Here it is. And it's chopped to second base, picked up by Green. He'll throw on to first for out number 2. But another run comes in to score for the Cannons, and it's 11-4 here in the 7th.
So Marsala doing his job, brings in the run with the RBI ground out. Just a solid piece of hitting, making sure he didn't strike out, put the ball in play.
It picks up his second RBI of the night as he drives in Merkel Turner from third. Bell moves over to third. 2 gone now for Vincenzo Cassatt, and that one in there for strike 1. Cassatt on the night, we've mentioned it a couple times, base hit, double, and a home run. 3 RBIs.
Can we get the triple?
Can we? He'll be running. There's 2 outs. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one chopped foul. And over to the Cannons dugout to make it 0-2. Oh-2 count, 2 gone. Feels like a pretty big spot for Jack Turner on the mound. Here it is. And Cassatt will chop it to second. It'll be picked up by Green. It's going to be a tough play. He is safe with no throw. And the run will come in on the infield single from Vincenzo Cassatt.
No cycle, at least not yet, but he does have a 4-hit night.
And a 4th RBI in addition.
36, Josh eBay.
There we go, Lincoln. eBay takes one out of here. We're done.
That is correct. 12-4 the score in favor of Purcellville. eBay would represent the winning run. First pitch from Jack Turner on the way to 36 and white, and it's low and away for ball 1.
Of course, that's via the 10-run mercy rule after 7 innings or after 6.5, depending if the visiting team or the home team is up.
To win like this would be rather big for a Purcellville team that's lost 3 in a row and 7 of their last 10. 1-0 on the way. Laid off low and away again, and it's 2-0, but obviously 12-4, if they can hold on to this current score, would also be an equal, or also a fantastic win. But the mercy rules, you've mentioned, save a couple arms, 1 or 2 out of the bullpen, and cut a little pitches. 2-0 count, eBay laced to short. It will not be a mercy rule as it's flipped to green. 4 out, number 3. So fielder's choice ends the inning. The Cannons get 3 more. It's 12-4 Purcellville as we head to the 8th.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Welcome you back into Purcellville. Myself, Lincoln Burkholder, joined by my partner, Jeremy Huber. We've played 7 innings of baseball here. It's 12-4 Cannons, and I'll pass it over to Jeremy to take you the remaining 2 innings on play-by-play.
Thank you much, Lincoln. Great job tonight, man.
Thank you.
You're doing such a good job. I want to give you let you go the distance there. Go a couple extra innings. Hey, I'm no Clayton McCullough. I'm going to let you go.
Hey, man, that was some good innings there. It's several home runs. You know, it's not every day you get to call back-to-back home runs. So shout out to Andrew Bell and Thomas Marsala. Also put the Cannons on top by a margin that they have not forfeited since those 2 home runs.
So Cannons hoping for a win tonight. David Hamilton on the hill. New addition for Purcellville out of Nashville, Tennessee, and Walters State College. 6'2", 225 righty. Hamilton has made 1 appearance so far on the season. No ERA. That outing came recently as it was against the Winchester Royals. A couple games back in that contest. Hamilton saw not that many batters, only faced, gave up 1 run. It was unearned, though, as actually no ERA either, so could be some funky stats, or only saw 1 batter. Anyway, Hamilton hoping for a longer outing than he had last time.
It's a good spot to get some length out of him, see what you got if you're the Purcellville coaching staff.
He delivers, and that's going to be high for a ball.
Being that you're staked to an 8-run lead as it stands, so even if this goes very poorly, you should still be able to fight your way out of it.
Here's the 1-0 to Harriger, and it's over his head. So count goes 2-0, and saw this with Maya a couple innings ago. Came in and could not find the plate as Embry had to come on and put the fire out. Don't want to see that again with a big lead. 2-0 pitch. That's going to be low and kicks off the shin guard of Green, and now we're at a 3-0 count again.
You got to find the zone here, obviously 3-0, but it's tough to see a 3-ball start after we've seen the Cannons have some trouble with that. Even just today, you mentioned Maya walked his leadoff guy on 4 pitches, but settled in a little bit before getting pulled.
3-0 pitch, and that is going to miss the outside corner. So there's your 4-pitch walk as Jackson Harriger heads down to first base. As not the way you like to start things off.
Right fielder, Camden.
Or the right-hander.
Not at all, but again, plenty of cushion to work with. Just got to find that pitch that you can locate tonight and use it to your advantage. Got a runner on first and a chance to get Lockhart to maybe roll over here and produce 2.
Hamilton delivers, and Lockhart takes for a ball. And this is kind of the spot you're in, and Green's go out and talk to his pitcher, but you know, you've got an 8-run lead, so you got to let guys get out there and see if they can handle the situation. But you kind of let it go a little bit, and you see a big inning up on the board. And Hamilton trying his best and not seeing a lot of work to get back in that groove. But he's thrown 5 straight balls to start his outing.
7 appearances for Walter State. He did walk 9 batters through 2.1 innings this past year.
1-0 pitch. That's low for ball 2. Did see started his career at Jacksonville State. Pitched 3 games for the Gamecocks there. That summer pitched for Bristol in the Appalachian League. Did it again in 2025. That pitch is low for ball 3.
Let's see Coach Fuller getting antsy by the dugout. That's Hamilton. 7 consecutive balls to open the outing. He needs a strike here to avoid walking the first 2 batters.
And he doesn't get it. So walks the 8 and 9 hitter with 4 pitch walks. It's enough to pitch successfully in that situation. That brings the top of the order in Kamari Chisholm.
Yeah, 8 pitches, 2 walks. Just got to settle in now. I mean, I keep saying it, but it is what it is.
That'll miss outside for ball 1.
Especially as a guy looking to find a role in this bullpen down the stretch. Got to be able to show that you can locate.
Here's the 1-0. And that is down the heart of the plate for strike 1 and gets a cheer from the Cannons crowd.
Yeah, that one gets the weight off your shoulders. I'm sure he was thinking about it as much as we were up here.
Here's the 1-1. That's going to miss inside for ball 2. Yeah, looking up some numbers on Hamilton. He has struggled with the walk those 2 seasons at Bristol. 2-1. That'll miss outside. Count goes 3-1. So, in the 2024 season, faced 49 batters in his time at Bristol. He walked 24. The next year, faced 80 batters, walked 25. As that will be his 3rd walk. And Brett Fuller says that's it for David Hamilton. And his 2nd Cannons outing will be a short one, as he'll hand the ball to Brett Fuller. And a new pitcher will be on to try to get out of the jam. Cannons lead it by 8, 12-4 here in the top of the 8th. But first 3 on for Woodstock in the inning.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC,
Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons Baseball. New hurler on the hill, it's Christian Hubbard, the sophomore righty from Denton, Texas, and the University of Arkansas at Monticello. So far on the campaign for the Cannons, Hubbard, 9 appearances, no record. All those appearances in relief, 9 1/3 innings pitched, 7.71 ERA, 1.82 whip, 7 strikeouts for Christian Hubbard. In his time on the hill, his last outing came against Waynesboro last night, as pitched 1 inning, as he allowed 1 hit and no runs in his 1 frame for the Cannons. So Hubbard will try to put out the fire as Hamilton walks the first 3 batters he faces, only throwing 1 strike.
And I mean, I've mentioned the 8-run lead. It's not an impossible comeback, and
No.
3 runners on base with nobody out in the inning is the start you need if you're going to try and mount that comeback. They're 1 swing from potentially cutting this lead in half to just 4, which no longer feels like that big of a lead.
Yep.
So big task for Christian Hubbard here to try and put out this bonfire. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss by Connor Worth for strike 1. Worth, one of the 2 Woodstock All-Stars, went 2 for 4 in the game on Tuesday. Big win for the Valley over the Cal Ripken League. The 12-3 was the final of that one. 0-1. That's in for strike 2.
Had one connection to Garrett Goldberg earlier this broadcast. He also works in the Cal Ripken League.
Yep.
So.
Aces, Alexandria, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Double connection for him on this broadcast. Shame he's not here.
Here's the 0-2. That'll miss high. Count goes to 1-2. Hubbard, business management major. Hometown is Denton, Texas. Notable school in Denton. Here's the 1-2. That'll be bounced foul down the third base line. Do you know what school's located in Denton, Texas?
I do not. Is it? I'll go with Dallas Baptist. That'd be
Nope.
in Dallas, of
It
course.
is North Texas.
Aha.
Alma mater of Mean Joe Green.
The Mean Green themselves.
Yep. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, who also played football at North Texas. Here comes the 1-2. That's going to be to second base. Could be 2. Bell to second for 1 over to first base is not in time. So the runner's in. Worth legs it out. Cannons do get it out. So right now with that lead, they will trade the out for the run as Harriger in from third base. Chisholm out at second, and Worth on at first, with Lockhart going over to third.
Yeah, I mean, that was the exact result that Christian Hubbard was looking for on the mound. He got a rollover to second, and with good velocity to give him a shot at a double play, but good hustle from Worth to beat it out and avoid the 2 outs. Do get 1 run.
Here's Delgado. He'll hit it the other way, foul. So I got another one. You want to do a little 6 degrees of separation if I can get it in before we get a double play or an out?
Works for me.
All right. So famous broadcaster in Dallas, Bill Mercer. Bill Mercer called the Cowboys, called the Rangers, covered the Kennedy assassination. 0-1 pitch. That's going to miss outside. So he also called wrestling. There was the did you see the previews for that movie, The Iron Claw, that had Zac Efron in it a couple years ago?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, it's this famous wrestling family, Von Erichs. It's a very tragic story, but anyway, he called their wrestling. But Mercer also called North Texas games for a long, long time. Here's the 1-1. That'll miss inside, snap throw, and back in easily is Worth. So, but he's a legendary broadcaster. Actually just passed away, I think, about 6 months ago. His granddaughter, Emma Tiedemann, is the broadcaster, I believe, for Salem. It's the Red Sox AA team. And she actually called a Red Sox game last year. 2-1 pitch. That's going to be hit the other way as Newcomb going back. He's going to make the catch. Runner tags up as Worth goes back to first base. So a sacrifice fly for Delgado, but a solid play by Newcomb for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and didn't really get too much use out of it because the runner was having to go back to first, but that was an absolute laser in from the wall out in deep left field straight to the shortstop with no hop. So we saw him airmail one from a closer range earlier, but from the warning track would have been a strike.
So we're still at first, 2 outs as Giovanni Hernandez up. Hernandez tonight 1 for 4 with an RBI, as that will be low and no chance on the throw for Green behind the plate. Actually, an erroneous RBI, scored a run. Had a double to lead off in the third. But anyway, back to the story. The Emma Tiedemann, who I think did the women's broadcast, the Red Sox did a couple years where all the positions were done by women. 1-0 pitch, that's fouled away. Her partner for at least a year was Riley Edwards. Riley was the third Cannons intern here in Purcellville.
Oh, nice.
So I think he's doing the Bowling Green hot rods now, single A, but closer to home for him and gives him #1 innings. And as we've seen before, going from single A up a couple levels is not verboten like it used to be. So, but that was kind of cool. 1-1. That's going to be smoked out to right field. Could be trouble going back as Turner's going to watch it bounce off the fence. 1 run is in and a stand-up double for Giovanni Hernandez. So 3 on the board here at the top of the 8th inning. And getting closer to a ball game again, as it's now Cannons 12, River Bandits 7.
Yeah, it was a 5-run lead heading into the bottom of the 7th. Cannons able to put 3 on the board and extend it. But right back to a 5-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Still 2 outs, so Hubbard just needs 1 more. But Woodstock not going away without a fight. That's for sure.
And right now, Hubbard doing what was really asked of him, was come on and get some outs. He's gotten 2, as that's low. But more importantly, just get the ball over the plate, make them earn their way on. And unfortunately, put in a bit of a hole by Hamilton's walks. Logan Duffy at the plate. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and a miss for strike 1.
And Duffy's got a chance to really give Woodstock a chance. Puts this into the outfield and allows Hernandez to score. Then we're down to 4. If he takes this over the wall, it's down to 3.
1-1. That's in for strike 2.
And so on that note, if you're Hubbard, feel like you got to get this guy now. You've got 2 strikes on him, just 1 ball, so you're well ahead in the count, and an opportunity to keep this at a 5-run lead, which feels a whole lot more comfortable than anything below it, at least from how I'm feeling.
Here's your 1-2. That's low. Good block by Green to keep it in front.
I guess that's probably because you can't score 5 runs in 1 swing.
This is true.
In theory, a 4-run
Unless we're
lead.
playing rock and jock baseball.
Yeah, or banana ball, probably.
That too.
You could probably score 5
I don't
in
know
1.
if.
Yeah, I don't know how it would happen, but I'm sure it's possible.
Hubbard's 2-2. That is high for ball 3. First base is open. So Hernandez will not be off on the pitch unless he's going for a steal. And ball out, and Hubbard goes to the rosin bag, making sure he Gets a nice handle on it. It is a humid night. Big rain yesterday and a little bit today. 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike three as Hubbard will finish off the inning. 3 runs come in, but all of those on the ledger, or 2 of those on the ledger of Hamilton, as Hubbard minimizes the damage as the Cannons still lead 12-7 as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
Another inning for Jack Turner. He came on after one batter in the 7th for Pezos. Ended up allowing 3 runs to score, to credited to Turner. So he will see Martinez, Williams, and Green 4, 5, and 6 here in the bottom of the 8th. Cannons with a 5-run lead. Around the valley tonight, Winchester breaking open a game that was close. Front Royal had rallied back to make it a 6-6 tie. It was 7-6 Winchester, but a couple of big late innings. Royals have broken it open, now up 12-6, so Cannons will not gain ground on the Royals tonight, even with a win today. Strasburg, 10-2 win over Newmarket. Here's the pitch as Martinez fouls it back. Covington and Charlottesville were postponed tonight. No word on Culpeper and Harrisonburg. So not sure whether that's weather or something else, because we know that Harrisonburg plays at Eagle Field, which is turf. Stanton up on Waynesboro, 9-5 in the 6th, as that's going to miss low and away. 4-1.
Yeah, the Strasburg win would make any potential win here for the Cannons feel a little more needed and a little bigger even than it would otherwise. Obviously, if Strasburg would have hold a tiebreaker over Purcellville, they win, we lose tonight.
That 1-1's inside into the backstop. Count goes 2-1.
That would line Purcellville up to go to Strasburg for their playoff series in the opening round, where right now Purcellville would be hosting Strasburg in that same round.
Yeah, it's a big weekend for the Cannons. Got some winnable games. Got Newmarket tomorrow night. They take on Front Royal on Sunday. So games that the Cannons very well could win, get a little hot streak before some of those tough ones to close it out at the end. As that's going to be off the fists and easy to handle for Green for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Cannons, obviously 5-run lead here, but you'd love to put some more on the board. It hasn't been a shutout of Woodstock's offense. They've put up 7 runs in their own right, and they're capable of putting numerous runs on the board. So ideally, you put a couple more on the board here and sort of hopefully put them away. But hopefully you can also hold a 5-run lead in the top of the 9th.
Here's Williams. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Just listening back to our opening broadcast of the year last night and talked about how Williams, his brother, played the majors. currently in the Mexican League. He'll hit one the other way, but foul. Seth's brother Nick, 3 seasons with the Phillies. A couple games with the White Sox as well. His brother Jonah, the one that plays football and baseball at Texas. That's low. Count goes 1-2. Seth plans to be a political science major at West Virginia.
That's what my roommate did in college.
1-2. That'll be hit out to second base. Stabbed by Green. Throws over to first. And a nice stretch by Delgado on the wide throw to retire Williams for out number 2.
Yeah, heck of a play from Bryant Green over there at second. A full layout. And not your typical ball rolls right into the glove diving stop. He had to catch that one mid-dive off the hop and able to pick it up and throw on to first. Obviously throw a little bit offline, but excusable given how nice the diving stop was. First baseman able to help out his second baseman a little and ensure the out.
Here's the pitch to Green. He takes for a strike. AJ 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a line out. Also reached twice via the walk, scoring a run. The first of the 7th inning for the Cannons. Turner's 0-1 in the dirt. Ends up getting through and to the backstop. I mentioned before, Cannons in action tomorrow night, as they will be down at Newmarket, as that's in for strike 2. 7:30 start. Then on Sunday, you match up with Front Royal, 6 o'clock start. 1-2 coming up from Turner. Here it is. That is in there for strike 3 as Green goes down looking for the final out of the inning. 8 complete here at Fireman's Field. Cannons looking to wrap this one up and snap that 3-game losing streak. They lead the River Bandits 12-7.
The Purcellville Cannons are back for another great season of baseball here in Loudoun County. Cannons baseball is brought to you in part by IBEW Local Number 26, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Bank of Clark, the Purcellville Pub, Catoctin Creek Distilling Company, Lava Technology Services, Valley Drilling, Valley Energy, Skinner Law Firm, Auto Stop Elite, Athenian Company Luxury Hair Lounge, Backflow Technology, Virginia Citizens Armory, DCF Contracting, Caseco, Merit Restorations, Unlimited Plumbing and Piping LLC, Loudoun Valley Floors. Thanks for supporting another season of Cannons baseball.
New pitcher on, and it's our left fielder, Logan Newcomb. Easy for me to say. Comes in from left field as Ethan Acevedo comes off the bench and goes to left. So we'll have our burning of the DH, we believe. So that will take eBay out of the lineup. And should be our only change.
That moves Newcomb to the DH spot, technically, correct?
Well, I don't know.
Since Newcomb was already in the lineup, though.
Yeah, but they do that. So definitely, if we were to bat again, Acevedo would bat in the 3 hole.
Newcomb remains at 8.
So That's the important thing right now is that Newcomb comes on and
defensive changes for your Cannons. Moving
gets
from left
3
field
outs.
to the pitcher's mound is number 17, Logan.
Helps the
Newcomb.
Cannons snap a 3-game losing
Taking over
streak.
left field and batting third is number 8, Ethan Acevedo.
Acevedo comes on as the defensive replacement. Some would say this is Newcomb's best spot as the pitcher, as he can really run it up there.
This was the vision that I spoke to Coach Kobe White about when Newcomb first arrived here in Purcellville, was the idea of keeping the bat in the lineup the whole game, and then you pull him out of the outfield for the 9th inning to come in and pump 95 and close this thing out. And we'll get a real 100% look at that strategy right here.
On the campaign, Newcomb has pitched 7 2/3 innings to a 2.35 ERA, 0-1 record, 5 appearances on relief. Does have a save. That was about a week or so ago against Strasburg, as that'll miss high for a ball. Count to 1-0, as it'll be miss outside to Bryant Green. Moon and Harriger, your scheduled batters. Here's the 2-0, and that'll miss outside for ball 3. And obviously, Newcomb's had some practice in these scenarios, I would think, but not getting that normal warm-up. 3-0. And that's ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk, and I think that's at least the 3rd time we've seen that tonight. The Cannons, with a sizable lead, bring a new pitcher on, and
third baseman, KJ
a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, not ideal, but still got the 5-run lead. Just got to be able to get outs and get them quickly. Can't afford to load the bases or anything with nobody out here in just a 5-run game.
KJ Moon at the plate. He'll take inside, and that's a 5th straight ball from Newcomb. And again, young player didn't get that full warm-up. I've abbreviated because he'll be ready to hit. Might have got some throws down the pen. 1-0, and he's going to hit a batter. So, with only a 5-run lead, Newcomb comes on, who's been pretty nails for most of the season. Walks the first batter on 4 pitches and then hits the second batter.
Yeah, not the start you're looking for as the closer here, but you've got to start to try and take advantage of this last 2 in the order to manufacture at least 1 out, preferably 2.
That's been the big problem, and we saw Maya struggle. He walked the first 2, batters 7 and 8. Here's the pitch, and that's going to miss high for ball 1. Then, 2 innings later, when Hamilton came on, he would walk Harriger and Lockhart, the number 8 and 9 hitters. So, right now, the Cannons obviously struggling with control. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to miss for ball 2. But even worse, doing it against the bottom of the order for Woodstock.
Yeah, just 2 hitters left before the top.
And that's in for a strike.
As he finds the zone. If you're the Cannons, you hope that gives him a little bit of confidence for the rest of this at-bat.
2-0. That's popped up, and it's going to get out of play.
Yeah, one sounded like it hit our rooftop.
Yep, or at least the overhang. So you scramble out there and get that if it didn't fall through.
Yeah, I had one out there not too long ago. Got caught up on, like, gutter. But
Here's the 2-2 from Newcomb. That's a swing and a miss for strike three. So after the base on ball, the hit by pitch, Newcomb locks in and gets the number 8 hitter, Harriger, for out number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that one strike was really all he needed to get a little confidence and find a rhythm there against Harriger. It was one strike looking and then foul ball and strike 3.
Here's the pitch to Lockhart. That's going to miss outside.
So now if you're Newcomb on the mound, you've just got to think, hey, what did I do to get Harriger into a 2-1 count? And can I repeat it here against Lockhart to get a second out before the top of the order comes back up in Chisholm?
1-0. That's hit the other way. That's going to be trouble. It's down for a base hit. Going to score at least 1, maybe 2. As Green coming around to score. Moon's going to come around to score. As Bell will throw it home. It's up the line. Gets by. And going to third base is Lockhart. Tag applied. And he is out at the third base. And I tell you what, they're hopping mad in that Woodstock dugout. And not a great angle for Rick Swink down at third base. Looked to me that Lockhart might have got underneath of it, but at this point, he is done, and that's a big second out for the Cannons with 2 runs in here for Woodstock here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, big break for the Cannons there to get that out. I mean, I got to say, I agree with you. It looked like from up here, like Lockhart might have slid under a tag on a throw that was a little above Marsala's head over there that he had to jump for, but Rick Swink says out, and that is a dagger to the heart of Woodstock, who was looking like they'd have a runner on third with 1 out in a 3-run game. Instead, the bases are empty, and they've got 1 out left.
Top of the order in Chisholm. As Newcomb misses. And again, you know, he had hustled around, got to second, ball got away. So he advances to third and might have beat the throw, but it's one of those kind of opportunity cost plays where your run doesn't matter at that point. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and a miss for strike 1, excuse me. Count goes 1-1.
Yeah, it's a 9-4-2-1-5.
Glad you figured that
in
out.
The scorebook, I would believe. Unless the catcher didn't actually make contact with it.
1-1. That's fouled off of Green, and that made contact off of AJ as he grabs the elbow and says a few choice words, which everyone would grant him that liberty, as he's probably saying to himself, man, I'm maybe one pitch away from the game ending, and I got to take one off the elbow.
Yeah, I mean, that one hurts especially, being that I mentioned earlier, he got hit with an unfortunate foul ball the other game here, but
yeah.
He was also a guy who dealt with, I believe it was a hamstring injury earlier this season, so not the luckiest summer of all summers for A.J. Green, but it looks like he'll be all right. Just got to take some time and rebuckle the leg guards to give your elbow some time to stop, ringing.
Yeah. But back to that play, like you were getting into there, Lincoln. Runner at second base with 1 out. Top of your order with Chisholm, Worth, Delgado, Hernandez sitting pretty good. It's probably not worth the chance, all things considered, but in Woodstock, I'm sure, saying, hey, should have been safe at third anyway. 1-2 pitch, that's going to get to the backstop, and the count goes 2-2.
Hey, ran up the velocity on that one, but just lost control of it. That went up to 95, but to the backstop, and if he can find the zone on that, it's going to be hard to catch up to for Kamari Chisholm, but obviously got to land it here if you want to end this game.
2-2 pitch, that's going to miss high. So count goes 3-2. Couple All-Stars coming up in the order. So it would be wise for Newcomb trying to finish this one off right here. Rhythmic applause. Here's the 3-2. That's fouled back, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, Chisholm staying alive here.
Winchester has won 12-6 over Front Royal. Strasburg final earlier, 10-2 over Newmarket. Again, the 3-2 pitch. That is in there for strike three. Chisholm can't believe it. But the strike three looking as Jim Clayton rings him up.
That's a Cannons win, which
And that will be a Cannons victory. Got a little bit tight at the end,
just past first base.
but they win it 12-9 to snap their three-game losing streak.
So that one also helps. You stay within 2.5 of Winchester at the top of the standings after their win today. You stay a full game ahead of Strasburg after their win over Newmarket, and you're now 2 games ahead of Newmarket in 4th place. So trying to hold on to home field advantage in the playoffs. They've got 6 games left to do it, and this was a big one here today to get that started.
Totals in this one: 12 runs for the Cannons on 13 hits and 1 error. 9 runs for the River Bandits on 7 hits and no errors. Winning pitcher in this one, I believe, is going to end up being Johnny Montgomery, as Montgomery in this contest went 2 1/3 frames, allowed no runs in his outing. No hits as well. Loss to Casey Proctor, as he allowed 6 runs, all earned over 2 innings, also allowed 6 hits. So that'll do it from Fireman's Field. Cannons win it 12-9 over the River Bandits. Purcellville next in action tomorrow, 7:30 start. That'll be against Newmarket, followed by a Sunday matchup against Front Royal. Next time the Cannons will be at home will be on Wednesday, as they will welcome in the Strasburg Express in what could be a huge matchup. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on the Cannons YouTube page coming up on Wednesday. So for Lincoln Burkholder, I'm Jeremy Huber saying so long from Purcellville. Again, your final score: Cannons beat the River Bandits 12-9.